Okay. It says we're live.
Okay.
I find it very hard to believe, but yep. Welcome back to another day in the painting realms where we try so damn hard to get this stream going. I'm in the hotel. Bill's hosting it. It looks
Hey.
like we're here.
Okay.
Okay, I had to go live here. Okay, but we figured it out. Oh my god, perfect. Okay.
Hey.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so I got
Everyone.
a GT. I'm in a hotel. Bill's driving. Bill's doing an extra mile. He helped me set up the slideshow on his end. He's streaming it. He's driving the slideshow. Thank God. Thank you,
Great.
Bill, for all of your help.
There we go. We're doing it.
Yeah.
I apologize to everyone that heard the weird echoing audio because I was just making sure everything was going. But yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it
I
is.
appreciate that.
So fantastic.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I guess we can just jump right into it because you're not really doing much.
Yeah.
You're not doing Peyton, and I guess we can just go.
Yeah, it's been a little lame because the last stream I put a color on, decided I didn't like it, and I put the black back on, so I didn't really get progress. This time I'm not getting progress. Whatever. And we can do like a little intro talk. But we spent 20 minutes trying to go live. And this is pretty deep book, huh?
There's a lot going on.
So yeah, let's just jump into it.
All right, let's do it.
You cool with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I forgot to take a snapshot of this, but one of my friends in the Discord server was like, make sure you update the app so it can go from this, and he sent like a 1990 point list to this. There's like 260 something points. So I think overall it's a great book. There's some big hits. One of them is points, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have like massive beyond endless hordes, and another hit is summoning, I would say. Would you agree with both of those?
Yeah, it just totally lost summoning entirely. It's not a
Yeah.
concept.
Which I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. I think it's
weird.
fine for the most
Yeah.
part, but
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what they got.
All right.
So this is cool. Beast Herd Ambush. During deployment, instead of setting up a Beast of Chaos unit on the battlefield, you can place it to one side and say that it will be set up in ambush as a reserve unit. The end of your first and second movement phase, you can set up a friendly reserve unit that are in ambush on the battlefield wholly within 9 of a battlefield edge, more than 9 from enemy units. The start of the third battle round, Beast of Chaos units that are still in reserve are destroyed. Add 1 to charge rolls for friendly Beast of Chaos units that are set up on the battlefield in the same turn.
That is pretty freaking cool.
Designer note. Yeah, because this is probably going to be a very frequently asked question. Yes, you can null deploy with this.
Yep.
So, I think what it was before is they had to come out the first turn, and it was 6 inches of a board edge.
That's correct.
And no bonus to charge, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so...
And it was only for all herd, I believe. That was like their thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah.
Or was that true? That might not be true.
I think you're right, actually. I think I do remember that, because I think we had a game we wanted to put, like, Zongors in the hold, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it's like...
Because of that. I remember that,
they had to be all herd. Yeah. And the Zongors couldn't be or something.
So being able to hold
maybe they had to be Bray herd. Oh, that's what it is. They had to be Bray herd.
Bray herd.
Yep.
I guess that's what I thought you meant when you said all herd, but yeah.
But I didn't play with that mechanic too much in the previous book, so...
No.
A little hard.
But, like, I think there's some really cool stuff you can do here. And then there's some units that we'll see that can play on being in reserve.
Yep.
Which is awesome, too.
And let's not forget that the other hidden thing about this is they get +1 to charge for being deployed this turn. But most of I think all of the banners, or the musicians also get +1 to charge. So it's actually +2.
So it's like a 7-inch charge, which is closer to 50%.
Yeah, it's even better than 50%.
Pretty good odds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this really cool world, Master of the Wilderness. And if your general's in reserve, you receive 1 command point still.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So about that? Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's not a ton to say about that, but like that's really cool.
It's just like fixing what would be a problem with the book. Just predictably. Yep.
I didn't really think about being able to like make 7-inch charge from reserve. And like a 9-inch from the board edge is actually pretty generous.
It is, yeah, right?
Yeah, so like you're still like stuck to the edges, but I tell you, a lot of missions have objectives towards the edges too.
Yep.
And I think, like a lot of stuff that are like 11 in from an edge, you're going to be able to claim points from just deep striking.
Yep.
From 9 inches from a board edge, where with 6 would be very difficult before. So like if they don't protect the edge, like you can just grab it very easily.
And the other interesting thing is you could if your opponent goes and grabs points that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get, you can potentially charge into range too.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this will actually be very hard to play properly.
Oh yeah, this is.
But there's so much power here.
Yeah. This is no weak of heart ability.
Absolutely.
You gotta know what you're doing, or at least practice a lot to figure it out.
Yeah. Overall, I think that's a fair compromise to no summoning, is being able to hold them a little bit later, and then the range on it is pretty generous.
Yep, I totally agree.
So,
and it's everybody, absolutely everybody.
Yeah, which I think there's probably some nonsense involved with that.
Oh, absolutely, there's some nonsense involved with that, I'm sure.
All right, let's jump to the next slide. We can talk about these cool things, the rituals of ruin.
Yeah.
So, like, what you used to be able to do is sacrifice your little goat men for summoning points. This part I think is a little weird. In your hero phase, you can carry out one of the heroic actions, but it doesn't count as your heroic action. Why did it have to be a heroic action, right? Why couldn't it just been like, do D3 to something, do this ability?
I actually like that, because then it obeys all the rules that a heroic action would also obey. So, like, if they change how heroic actions work otherwise, that this will also change automatically, and it doesn't have to be a special snowflake that way.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's why I think they did it that way.
Yeah, and like if they want it to behave exactly the same, yeah, I think that's fine actually. But like, I'm glad that it doesn't overwrite them.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's cool.
And everyone can use one, right? Every Beast of Chaos hero.
You can, yeah, with each friendly Beast of Chaos hero that is on the battlefield. In addition, oh, yep. I missed that. I thought you had to pick one.
Yeah, no, you can do as many as you have heroes. Better.
Yeah.
I think they all have. They can only be done once.
I'm sure that's true. Yeah. With the Beast of Chaos.
I thought I'd read this, but now I'm not finding it. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, so can carry out one of the heroic actions on the table.
Same heroic action cannot be carried out more than once per phase. It's the last words.
Perfect.
On the page. There
okay, cool.
We found it.
Yeah, and then you just do D3 mortal wounds.
So I have some interesting thoughts on these.
You can do it in reserve too. I missed that part.
Yeah,
also.
You can. Now there's a question here that's gonna need a fact, I think. So
sure.
Can you hit someone with the D3 mortal wounds while they're in reserve if they're doing it? If the hero's in reserve, but there's a unit on the board, and you can measure from any point on the board, so in theory you could hit them. Now it specifically says that if the heroic action instructs you to pick a friendly unit, you must pick the hero carrying out that heroic action. If the heroic action says to pick it, but it doesn't say anything about the D3 mortal wounds, that can be within 3 inches of that hero.
Wait, what about that? If you do so, before resolving the effect of that heroic action, you must allocate D3 mortal wounds that cannot be negated to that hero.
Or to another friendly Beast of Chaos unit within 3 inches of that hero.
Yep, so that's the first paragraph. And the second paragraph, after from the table below with one friendly Beast of Chaos hero that is in reserve, if you do so before resolving the effects of that heroic action.
They changed it. Okay, I missed that bit. Yeah. Never mind.
So
it's very clear.
If they're both on the field, you can hit a unit. If you're from the board edge, you have to hit yourself. But D3, you're not going to kill yourself.
You're not going to kill yourself. But there's some interesting bits here that I wanted to point out. Well, I guess we can just go through them, and I'll get to them.
Yeah.
So the first one seems fine. The first one seems good. Yes, there is the interesting thing where you can hit yourself for more than, than who you're hitting. But I think trading, 3 wounds on Ungors versus 1 wound on something much more valuable like a hero is totally fine, right?
I'm sure too if somebody's do 3 damage to your Ungors, do 2 damage to a Stormcast, you're happy with that trade because you're they're 3-up save, or to hit a Slaves to Darkness thing and kill one of their stuff.
Yeah,
they have the ward to it, but even if you're taking more than you're dealing, you're trading up normally because Ungor are like cheapest chips, and that's who they're going to be eating mostly, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and you also have ways to mitigate that later. We can talk about, but
yep.
Yeah, first one, 12-inch range, D6 mortal wounds. That's fine.
Yeah,
like that's a good bolt spell.
Yeah, it's quite good even, I think. And 12-inch
Yeah,
range is
actually.
decent.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like your Beast Lord getting in there. And this is a heroic action, so like you take your turn, you move up, you put yourself in range, and then it's their turn, you're like, here's my heroic action. Kaboom.
Yeah.
Oh, in your hero phase, never mind.
Oh, in your hero phase.
Oh, they got me. That was too good to be true. Alright, never mind.
Yeah.
That actually removes a lot of the utility.
That's true. I can imagine them being way too much. If you can do all 4 of them.
Yeah, that would be a lot. Although you would be taking a lot of damage at that point, so.
Yeah, this makes me think you want to bring 4 heroes now, just to make sure you can hit all of these if you want.
I was gonna have a comment on that I think some of these are just not worthwhile at all.
Let's go through all of them.
Yeah.
How about that?
So the next
Blood Taunt.
Oh, this one's really cool. This one just basically it's the old shaman spell.
Yeah.
It forces people to move. Pick an enemy
and
within 12.
Sure the shaman still has it, right?
What was that?
I'm pretty sure the shaman still has that spell too, right?
No, it changed.
Oh, okay.
But what they do have is they add 6 inches to their range on these. So you can actually hit within 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, that makes the bolt spell better for them too. Actually, 18 is really a really good range.
Yeah.
So basically, it's you pick a unit and they have to move 2d6 inches, and they must finish as close as possible to the hero while staying outside of 3 inches. So basically, you could just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you out of position. Come here. I charge you. I wipe you out with all my stuff." I hope you didn't need
that aura, right?
What was that?
I hope you didn't need that defensive aura.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many cool things you can do with Blood Taunt. Like, that one seems awesome. That is totally worth the D3 mortal wounds you're going to take.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the next one, however, Brand of Wild Fury, you get... Sorry, I went over, like, all this stuff ahead of time, so I hope you don't mind that I'm driving a little bit.
Not at all. I'm not used to
it. So, you can give a ward of 6+ to... a unit while they're wholly within 12 inches of the hero you picked. All right, here's my thoughts here. You got to do D3 mortal wounds to something within 3.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're giving a 6+ ward. What are the chances that you're actually going to save enough wounds with that 6+ ward to cover the D3 mortal wounds that you took to start with? Like, is it actually worth it to do?
Until until your next hero phase, I would say, but until the end of this turn, I guess you're right.
Till the end of this turn, yeah. Till the end of this turn, it's not. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I don't know if the value is actually there for this one. I mean, maybe it is because it's free, and like if you think maybe, yeah, like if you you hurt your Ungors or you hurt your own shaman to give it to Bestigors or something, maybe. But
that's actually interesting because you can stack the heroic actions in any order. So you could hit the shaman in himself, and then heroic recovery him.
That's true, because you can do another one too. That is a really interesting point, actually.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. Alright, so maybe this one does have use, but it's a little weird, and like you're not even getting the full value out of a 6+ ward. So
it's definitely the bronze medal of the first 3. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 are just awesome.
Yeah, the first 2 are awesome. Like, no question. And then that one is, like, questionable if you even do it if you have someone available to use it.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, you can still do that heal thing with the other better ones, too, right? Like, I'll take D3 mortal wounds, deal D6 to you, and then heal D3.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I like it, though.
I actually really like that thought that you can just heal it right back. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I just thought about it. Yeah.
Okay, that makes the first 2 even cooler in my opinion. And then the last one, you don't take battle shock tests for a unit, which maybe Now this one irks me a lot actually.
Because the design of the
because
go
it
ahead.
says you don't take battle shock tests. It doesn't say you auto pass a battle shock test. So it's basically like Night Haunts like comes up, they're all cool, and then they're like, ha, you can't auto pass your battle shock test, and I'm like, well, actually, I don't take one. It's just like one of those like one up rules that I like kind of hate. But
I have a question though, and
yeah,
does it change your opinion that it says that Night Haunts just says you can't issue the inspiring presence command?
oh, is that what it says? It doesn't say you can't
Yes.
auto pass.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't. Maybe it changes it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's just kind of weird. Like, if anything did say you can't auto pass, it's just like, well,
Yeah.
I don't take one. It's just so it's just gonna like, depending on the design space they go to. I guess I don't know if there's actually something that says you can't auto pass morale.
I see what you mean. Like power level wise, I don't want anyone in the chat to or watching the video later to get mixed up. We don't think it's broken.
No.
But we think in the design space it's yucky.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
yeah.
right?
In fact, I think it's very not broken because okay, we're gonna go back to the previous one's problem. This one is preventing guys from running away, right? Which may or may not happen, and you have to take D3 mortal wounds to start with to use it. So it's just like the utility is like very questionable at best here, I think. Like the amount of times that this is actually gonna matter and save more than the D3 mortal wounds you took to do it, I think is exceptionally questionable.
And like if you could put it on them and then launch them out and then like weather a turn. If it was like until your next hero phase, I would change my mind, but it's only this turn.
It's only this turn.
Yeah, so that makes it less good, but like I get it.
There's gonna people are gonna use it, I'm sure. But I don't think it's the best thing you can be doing every turn.
And like if you want to like multi-charge like 2 units, you're still probably better off dealing the D6 mortal wounds to them. Or pulling one away so you don't have to multi-charge.
Yeah, like I don't know.
The first two are definitely the gold medals.
Yeah, the first two are like awesome, and the last two are like, well, maybe you could have designed this better.
We have 2 golds and 2 bronzes. We don't have a silver here.
No, yeah, we really do. It's exactly that. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Warping Curse is like you're thinking about how you're going to use that every one of your hero phases. Like you want to make them go first so you can do it, or have a hero in reserve so you can do it from a board edge.
Yep.
Right. Like I feel like you're kind of like how Strike and Fate is. You're going to try to like revolve your turns around doing some damage. Blood Taunt, I don't think you're going to use it every turn, but the turns where you're going to use it are going to be like absolutely backbreaking.
Oh yeah, I think I'd be even willing to say like you should probably be able to find a use for that every turn. Like if you set up right.
Oh, if you put a hero from a board edge, right, and they're on an objective, you can Blood Taunt them off the objective and then Deep Strike onto it.
So you have to Deep Strike within 9 of the board edge. So that'd be a little tough to do. But I guess you're saying you could like kind of pull pick a point, pull them like more towards themselves to open up like a little bit of a extra space or something like that.
You have to,
you could absolutely.
Because like a lot of the edge objectives are like 11 by 15 in. So if you pull them I guess like you pull them towards the short or the long way.
Yeah.
You can Deep Strike on the short way to get there and hold a point with some gore or like dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that's very interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that's a powerful scoring tool like immediately.
There's a lot you could do with this. This is gonna be a weird book to play, but like a really cool one, I think.
I think the board edge thing like brings it to the next level.
Yep. Oh, definitely. Yeah, like what a wild
fine
ability, right? Like who thinks of like, oh, there's actually a shaman anywhere on the edge for the first 2 turns that can do this to me. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, they wanted to make it like the ambush army, and it clearly is now, right?
Yeah, they did it.
And yeah, and like there's always like the verisimilitude issue of like, oh, I can't move here because that's the world's edge.
Yeah,
and like these guys play off of that.
Yeah, these guys are like, no, we don't care.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
All right.
Yeah, these are so cool.
Yep. Yes,
I love.
I
I
like the
love
first
these.
two a lot more now that we thought about them a little more too.
Yeah.
But all right, next slide. I think that was good for those, huh?
Yeah, we got a lot covered there, I think. Very powerful stuff. And then the next slide is the Alpha Beast Instincts, which are the hero or the command traits, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of cool that they put like they have homage to the old like specific chaos god Grand Alliances
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
like yeah, you
Yep.
know, like the Rot Fray, the Twist Fray.
Yep.
Those used to be battalions, and now they're like, oh, if you make your general that, it kind of counts. Bestial Cunning. After deployment, you can pick one friendly Beast of Chaos reserve unit, and when you set that unit up at the end of your movement phase, you can set it up anywhere on the battlefield more than 7 from all enemy units.
So that's fantastic.
Especially when you mentioned like the +2 to charge, so that's a 5-inch charge now.
Yeah, it's a 5-inch charge.
Yeah, and like anywhere.
And anywhere. Yeah, not just board
Yeah.
edge anymore. That one seems really good. There might be
I
some better, but that
feel-
one's really good.
I don't even know which one's the best one, but that's one of the contenders to me.
Yeah, definitely. That seems like a very powerful ability.
It would be very hard to not run that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But I mean, the Skull Fray one is really good though. We'll get there, I guess.
Yeah. How about we go through them all and then we talk about our favorites?
Yeah. Let's do it.
You cool with that?
Yep.
All right. Propagator of Ruin. If this general's on the battlefield and you pick them to carry out a heroic action from the Rituals of Ruin, you can carry out a second different heroic action from the Ritual of Ruin's battle trait with this general in that phase. You do not have to allocate mortal wounds to the general before resolving the effects of the second one. I'm not huge on that one just because I think we mentioned that there's like 2 we really want to use.
Yeah.
And you're gonna want the third hero for the command entourage anyway, I think. So I wouldn't take this one.
No, me either. This one doesn't. This one kind of seems stinky. I see what they're going for, but I just don't think it works.
It's cute, but it's
I think maybe if you didn't have to take the wounds for either of them and had a little more going on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Pretty cool. But I think as is, nah.
And you said the Skullfray Gorehorn was cool?
Oh yeah. I like this one a lot. It's very simple.
It's within 3 inches of enemies. Yeah. If it's within 3 inches of an enemy unit, add 1 to the attack characteristic of friendly Beast of Chaos Brayherd units wholly within 12 of the general. This is the I want to use my Bestigors to the best of the ability.
Yeah, I want to use my goddamn Bestigors, and I'm gonna use my goddamn Bestigors with my Beast Lord. Here they go. Watch them go.
And Beast Lord's not bad either.
Right.
No.
Correct.
Like he's pretty decent for a foot hero.
I think he is, and the fact that we're in the
foot hero world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a reason to run this bad boy.
I like that too. And wholly within 12, I think you can probably fit 2 units of Bestigors wholly within 12.
I think you can, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have a 2-inch range now, so that you don't need to worry about that, is fantastic.
Oh, you don't even need bonds of battle. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
That's great.
Yep. I'm very excited about all that.
Yeah, I would be too. Twist Fray, Curse Beast. I like this one a lot. Add the number of the current battle round to the casting rolls for this general.
Yep.
So turn 1, add 1. Like, I think people take +1 a lot anyway. +2 on turn 2 and +3 on turn 3. 4 and 5, like, I've seen games that don't go to 4 and 5, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the critical turn... we'll talk about this when we get to spells, too. But if you have something that's, like, casting value 7, you get it on, like, a 4.
Yeah,
like,
and there's some good spells, too. Yeah, there's some really good spells.
Oh, and if it has, like, the Arcane Tome or is a multicaster, you add it to both.
It does say
it's not
all,
the first
right?
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. To casting rolls, yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't help dispel, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be way better if it did, but like
exactly.
I think that's powerful.
Yep. I completely agree.
Alright, Rotfray Plague Pelt. The start of the combat phase, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 of this general. On a 2-up, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Nope.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. But like...
Actually, well, there's something to it, right? There's a lot of like chip damage AoEs in this book, I've noticed.
There really is a lot. So like Maybe. Like,
I mean,
if you stack it all up and then you can just like try to obliterate something a turn, like maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, or you just give it +1 attacks, right? That's how I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you deep strike from 7 away with a +2 to charge.
It just doesn't seem good enough, right?
No, I don't think so.
Nah, me either.
Yeah. And then Slake Fray Reveler. If this general's on the battlefield at the start of your movement phase, add 3 inches to the move characteristic of friendly Beast of Chaos unit that start on a normal move within 6 inches of a terrain feature until the end of that phase. So this was the old shaman rule stapled into a command trait.
Yeah. Which, that one, honestly, it might be really good. I think it has the possibility. Movement is good, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I never want to discount movement tech, because it's quite possible that that's just actually what's going to be the best. It's not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably not the one I'd use a lot. But
yeah.
Then again, I'm not, like, a top player or anything, so I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Maybe exactly what they need is the extra movement, right?
Yeah, Sylvaneth has this exact same thing, and, like, I don't bring it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Sylvaneth has Spellsinger, and that thing's, like, nuts.
Yeah.
However, Nighthaunt had this as an artifact, and I brought it every single time. However, being an artifact makes it way better than a command trait.
Yes, that's true, because you can have multiple.
Yeah, and, like, I guess you don't need 3 inches of movement when you can deep strike 7 inches in board edge everywhere, right?
Right? Yeah. I think
like,
that might be what makes it not as important, right? Because you can already just kind of place your army where you need to be.
Like, yeah, I'm not convinced. Only within 6 inches of a terrain feature until the
units that start a normal move within 6 inches of a terrain feature.
Oh, so it's not within 6 inches of the general. Okay.
No,
that's weird.
It's 6 inches of any terrain feature by the looks of it, which is just
okay. So think of your whole army.
Bizarre. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, actually, never mind. There might be something to that.
If the general's on the battlefield, start of your movement phase.
Okay, so it has to be on the battlefield.
Yeah, which is
fine. It can't be in reserve.
And that's easy enough. You just don't actually deep strike that one. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, but how about talk about this being the absolute perfect one drop army though? Because normally the only drawback to a one drop army is that you have to show your opponent how you deploy first.
Yep.
And these guys are like, actually, we don't care. We're not going to show you, and we're going to get the choice of who gets first turn automatically.
Yep. And we give it to you because we will waste your first turn.
Yeah, your first turn, you will have no idea what the heck is going on. You set up, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, like, this to me, like, it seems like absurdly overpowered in some other armies. Yeah. But, like, it doesn't seem that good here.
It's weird, right?
Weirdly.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. Because, like, can you imagine if OBR had this?
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
Yeah, or like Soulblight or something like that.
And somehow in this book, we're just like, meh, I don't even know if I'll run this.
When I would try it might be super insane. Yeah. I have a feeling this might be. But, like, to me, there's, like, 4 huge winners out of the 6 here.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of good options here.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, like, Propagator of Ruin is, like, the double tap, the rituals. I can see it, but I'm not keen on it.
Right.
And, like, the Rot Fray, like, I think that's the only, like, real, like, bad one.
Yeah, it's the only real stinker.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is Nurgle, which is funny, but...
Yeah.
Overall, like, good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, there's tons of good stuff here.
Like, there's a lot of build potentials here.
Yep.
I think Bestial Cunning is the obvious, easiest one to get the most value out of.
Yeah. I honestly think Skullfray Greyhorn is really easy to get value out of, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a particular build, right?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Slake Fray, like, I think that might be the best one, low-key.
Right? Yeah. It's
I don't know, though.
Yeah, I don't either, because I can be anywhere already, so do I need it? I don't know.
I guess not.
The list that I want to build, like, with just Bestigors and Beast Lords and stuff like that, just, I think, likes Skullfray Greyhorn the best. But maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's still just, like, I'll move faster and it'll be good.
I would mess around with it, to be honest.
Yeah. And notice it's not wholly within 6 of a terrain feature or anything. It's just within 6.
No.
Like, those
Yeah.
circles are... I mean, the chances of you not being within 6 of a terrain feature on any halfway decently set up board is, like, so slim. Right?
And you get to deep strike onto him, too.
Yeah, you do.
You probably want to, because you can get cover anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like, I think there's power there.
Yeah, there definitely is. That's really good.
You want to jump to artifacts?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Alright. Slitherrack Helm. After the bear makes a charge move, pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of them and roll a dice on a 2-up. You give the thing strike last. Alright, that's great.
Yep, that's fantastic.
Funny, because I was just expecting that to be like, on a 2-up, do D3 mortal wounds, and I was about to be like, that sucks. Like, no, actually,
strike
an army made of
last. It's like,
paper.
wait, nope, super
Yeah. Yeah, you're an army of glass hammers. Like, strike last is so good.
Yeah.
There's a unit in here that makes me not want to take this one as much, but like it's an artifact, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bray Blast Trumpet. Once per battle, at the end of your movement phase, you can say the bearer will sound a Bray Blast Trumpet. If you do so, roll a dice. On a 2-up, you can summon 1 unit of Gores, 1 unit of Ungors, or 1 unit of Ungor Raiders to the battlefield and add it to your army. On a 1, you can still summon them, but the next turn. And then normal, within 9 inches of a board edge outside of 9 of enemies.
Oh my god, did they do something that's, like, reasonable if they're gonna do that kind of mechanic? Holy crap.
They learned.
They learned! Yay!
Yeah,
They
watching.
weren't like,
on
a 1, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
For your artifact.
It's such a terrible... Like, even, like, Lady of Vines, like, on a 2-up make Dryads, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, do they really need, like, a fail case?
They
don't. And, like, at least it does something.
Yes. Yes, thank goodness it
So,
at least does something. So it's, like, way better than all the other abilities they do like this that are, like, on a 2-up, get the thing, and then it stops there.
Mm-hmm. But, like, I like how these are, like, all toolbox units. So, like, Gores do their own special thing, Ungors do their own special thing, and Ungor Raiders have their own utility. So it's, like, actually, like a utility knife in the artifact slot, and it's just free points.
Yep.
Alright. The Knowing Eye. If you take the first turn in the current battle round after the players have received their starting command points, you receive 1 command point that can only be spent during that turn to allow the bearer to issue a command. If you take the second turn in the battle round, after the players have received their starting command points, the bearer can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, you go second, you can make a move of 6 inches with your shaman, and then that 18-inch bubble of hitting something for D6 or pulling someone 2D6 towards you is suddenly that much bigger of a range.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
After the players have received this... But so you have to, like, move them in their turn, though, if you go second, right?
Oh, is it after the play?
So after
second turn in the current round, after the players receive their starting command points. Wait.
Yeah.
If you take...
There's still something to that, though.
What the heck? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because it's not on my turn. That is
correct.
The oddest wording I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. There's got to be something to that, though, right? Like, this just seems like... I forget how good Dragon Ogre Shaggoths are. But if they're, like, beat sticks, you can put that on him, and he can just, like, at least take up space.
Okay, so it doesn't do at all what I thought it did. But...
Right, yeah.
I don't even know if I like it anymore, if I'm being honest. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, getting an extra command point is fine.
That's good.
First turn. Yeah, and like it can help you get your hero out of dodge or block.
Yeah.
I like the Slitherrack Helm the best still. Actually, the other two are better. Your Brave Blast Trumpet's pretty good.
Well, we still got 3 more. Let's go through 3.
The Axe of Morgar. Pick one of the bear's weapons. Ward rolls cannot be made for wounds caused by attacks made by that weapon. Yep, that's the right place to put this. You have something with a bunch of rend, i.e. your entire army.
Yep.
Because the Hearthstone kept the Rend thing.
It did.
So on,
Can you believe
turn
that?
2 you have an additional Rend. Turn 3 you have 2 additional Rend.
I think
Or,
it did. The Hearthstone used to give them the one rend to them the first turn, right? Or did it not? Actually, I
I'm
don't
not
remember.
sure. I know now it doesn't happen until turn 2.
Okay.
Which is fine because you're hiding turn 1 mostly, I'm imagining.
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah. You
Yep.
can even just be like, I don't want to play first turn. Go ahead again. We're just
Yeah.
gonna roll again, and it's fine. Which is
Yep.
so bizarre. Well, first I'm gonna do D6 mortal wounds to your thing right there. That's within 18 inches of the board edge, and then, we'll roll again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like I like the anti-ward being on a unit with Rend. And like we talked about the Beast Lord being decent, so at the minimum he can have that.
Yep.
And like I think Bulgor is pretty good too. Like I'm sure there's like some really good beat heroes that could really use this. Rather than just like some piddly unit with no Rend.
Now here's a question. It says ward rolls cannot be made for wounds caused by attacks made with that weapon. So the spoiler alert, the Beast Lord's weapon can inflict mortal wounds on a 6. Does that count as wounds inflicted by attacks made by this unit?
Correct.
Okay. That's pretty cool then.
Yep. The Bleeding Gnarl Staff. At the end of your movement phase, you can pick one of the objectives or terrain feature within 6 of the bear. Roll a dice. On a 2-up, each unit within 6 inches of that objective or terrain feature suffers D3 mortal wounds, and this ability has no effects on Beast of Chaos units. That's your Tendrils of Atrophy spell that you love. But it's like an artifact.
Yeah, I think I like other things better normally, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within 6 is a pretty tough pill to swallow.
Each unit within 6 of that objective or terrain feature?
Pick one objective or terrain feature
within 6 of the bear. Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're being aggressive with them, like, you might be able to chip away quite a bit.
Yeah, like it forced me to be up in their face with her, but like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I probably wouldn't take it much.
No. At the end of your movement phase? Oh, that's interesting. You can at least, well, it'd be hard to do, because you have to be outside of 9 of enemies.
Oh. You know what? I've got to go put my phone in a charger real quick.
You got it.
Because that's my hotspot. I'll be able to hear you and talk, but... you want to read the last one while I do that?
Yeah. Alright, so the Blackened Talisman of Chaos. Each time the bearer is affected by a spell or prayer or by the abilities of an endless speller or invocation, you can roll a die. On a 4+, ignore the effects of that spell, prayer, or the effects of that ability, of that endless spell or invocation on the bearer. Okay, so it does exactly what you think it does, and they had to word it very specifically to make sure it hit everything. It's just a 4-up spell ignore. Spell and prayer ignore.
4-up spell ignore?
Yep.
Do we care about that one much?
Probably not.
I'm not living high on that one.
No. It's not bad.
I wouldn't...
If like the meta calls for it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think otherwise, nah.
Yeah, because I'm taking Slitherrack Helm and Brave Blast Trumpet and Arcane Tome.
Probably,
over that. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or like Axe of Morgar. Like there's like 3 on this list that are better than that, in my opinion.
I think I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and if it was like an aura of Spell Ignore, that would be different, but like on one guy, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah. And I think you're probably only gonna have one artifact in this army, because I think you want a 1-drop. It feels like you want a 1-drop in this army. Like really bad.
1-drop, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think you're gonna have extra command points or anything to spread around for the most part.
What's your 1 artifact?
My 1 artifact? I think it depends on what I'm building, but I think Slitherrack Helm is seriously a serious contender.
It's Slitherrack Helm, unless the meta comes to a point where like everything in the world has a 5-up board. Then it's Axe of Mortar. And then Brave Blast Trumpet if I'm building like a waste your time control list.
Yeah. I mean, Brave Blast Trumpet might just be good anyway, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Just like the 2-up Strike Last, that's so hard to ignore.
Yeah. Well, then again, like, it's interesting because... So I feel like... Alright, there's 2 targets. There's 2 real targets for these artifacts, right? The melee ones.
Yeah.
There's the Beast Lord, who already has a fight in tandem roll. And
so you don't super need it?
you
Yeah.
don't super need it, right? Yeah. And then there's also and then there's the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, who
Yeah.
seems pretty good in melee from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And that might want it.
Yeah. I
So
guess if you're bringing the bowl too, like that has just a strike last aura.
yeah,
There's
that
a lot of
thankfully
strike last in this
no
book, so you
longer
might not
affects.
need it.
Yeah, no longer affects Beast of Chaos units. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
That thing's so fucking good now.
I think it is.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some good stuff here. And I just want to comment like the on the right there, that totem. That thing is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that art there. Like I love the aesthetic of this army so much.
Yep. I agree.
It's so cool. Mm-hmm.
All
right. I
think we beat
we're
those
talking
to
about
death.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the spells. Vile Tide, casting value 6, range of 12. Pick one enemy unit within range, invisible. Do D3 mortal wounds, and they cannot receive commands until the end of that turn. Okay. D6 with the ritual, D3 with this, and then they can't all out defense.
Yeah, you can just randomly kill stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, like the support heroes are in serious jeopardy in other armies, I think.
Yeah, let me put it this way too. Like 12-inch range is usually a pretty big liability, but when you have an army that you can deep strike the entire thing,
yes,
it's not that bad.
You can just be there already.
6
You just kind of
inches
got to
is pretty
pick your
bad.
target ahead of time, right? That's the trick.
You got to plan it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I like that spell a lot. Vicious Stranglethorns, casting value 5, range of 18. Pick one enemy unit, and they cannot make pile-in moves until your next hero phase.
What a weird ability.
Something about that makes me think it's insane.
Yeah, right? Agree.
Mm-hmm. And, like, I've definitely been screwed by the Nurgle guy who stops pile-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, the one turn where it's like, oh, you can't pile in with your stuff. Yeah, there's a Nurgle wheel thing.
Oh,
and that's definitely, like, made it so, like, instead of fighting with 6 stalkers, I fought with 1.
Yep.
But you have to, like, play that perfectly.
You do.
And I'm not sure you can do it that easily in a Horde army. It seems like if you're running, like, Bulgors and Dragon Ogres with, like, Bonds of Battle, you can really capitalize on that.
Yep.
But it's not my favorite one, but it's undeniably good.
Alright. I think I agree with you.
Yeah. Primal Dominance, cast value 5. Also, 6/5/5, those are low cast values.
Yes. Especially considering you can get +1, 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Yep. Yeah. So casting value of 5, range of 18. Pick one enemy monster. Till your next hero phase, that monster counts as 1 models for the purpose of contesting an objective and carrying out monstrous rampages. Oh, and cannot carry out monstrous rampages. You can't get roared. That's pretty good.
You can't get roared. You can stop someone from destroying your totem.
Oh, you drain. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can give a big old middle finger to giants for no reason.
You count as 1.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
That's probably why they have that, actually. I don't know if you saw, like, Battle Reports last edition and early this edition, where it's just like, oh, Beast literally can't do anything to Gargants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like your tool, man.
Yeah, there it is. You're like, yep, I'll put 2 Ungors here, and your Gargant counts as 1.
Yep. Okay.
It would be remiss to make not make a it still only counts as 1 joke there, by the way.
You're right. Still only counts as 1. Yeah. Tendrils of Atrophy. Range of 12, casting value 7. Pick one enemy within range invisible. Add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack made with melee weapons that target that unit until your next hero phase.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you have damage. Rend and that. Oof.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, right? Like, we're saying you can just kind of be there, but, like, 12 inches is still kind of a liability on a wizard. Because, yes, we can deep strike there, right? But we can't cast in the same turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a little awkward still.
Yeah. That's, like, a very punishing thing, though. Like, if they don't punch through your chaff line, like, it's over for that unit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, you can position this so well.
Steamrolled. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Wild
Oh,
Rampage.
hang on. And it also says until your next hero phase. Let's not forget
Yep.
that bit. So yeah, if you can get it off, you can just like be like, you can just so punish somebody with that.
Bounty Hunters is back, baby, for this army,
For
huh?
this army, yeah. Like
Yeah, that
wow.
thing. Yeah, that's like you build your army around that spell. Holy shit.
Yeah. It does cost
Okay,
7 to cast, but you know what? We have a command ability for this.
that's why you make it Twist Fray, right? All
Yeah.
right. Wild Rampage. Casting value of 7 and range of 12. Um, Pick one friendly Beast of Chaos unit wholly within range, invisible to the caster. Till your next hero phase, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with the melee weapon is 6, scores 2 hits instead of 1. Okay, so exploding 6s. Why would I ever, ever take that over Tendrils of Atrophy?
Um because it's easier to hit your own units than like hit your own
Enemy unit?
unit, move them out, charge.
Okay, fair.
It's got
Yeah.
like I see exactly what you're saying though. Like I
Yeah.
had to that was like a you know, it's a stretch. I think you take Tendrils of Atrophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, there's... Okay. Interesting. Man, this army, like, I would want a Lore Master. I don't think you have one, though.
What's the Lore Master again?
Knows all the spells.
Oh yeah, no, we don't have one.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and last one. Titanic Fury, cast value 6, range of 12. And the last one, like, it's just some damage. It's not great, I don't think. It's not, like, game-changing, right? It's just kind of neat.
Add 1 to the attacks characteristics of that monster's melee weapons. You can do that to Chimera. That's four extra good attacks.
That's cute, yeah.
And it's only casting value of 6.
Mm-hmm. Chimeras are pretty cheap now, too, right?
The what?
Chimera's like 185 now.
It's something cheaper, and I think all the attacks got like a little bit worse, but not too much worse. But they don't
Okay.
degrade anymore. And
Oh,
they
that's
used to
huge,
degrade.
actually.
Yeah, they used to degrade like drastically.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So no, actually, and they have the ability to give themselves an extra +1 attack. So, like, you could do a lot of damage with that Chimera with this potentially.
Yeah, I just think Potentials of Atrophy, Vile Tide, and those are the two big ones.
Yeah.
Vicious Strength, Primal Dominance have play, and then the other two are kind of cute.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Titanic Fury actually has play with a Chimera. If the Chimera turns out to be worth running.
Yeah, I mean, I guess overall though, like, if you have like 3 wizards or 2 wizards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not taking Titanic Fury first ever.
Probably not.
Yeah, just like Tendrils of Atrophy and Vile Tide seems so good to me. Like, Tendrils makes me want to just take Mirror. Or the Umbral Spell Portal.
Oh, that's a good point, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That's a really good point. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. I don't know.
You reach out and touch him.
There's something to it. Overall, pretty good spell lore. Nothing's bad here.
The thing about Viletide, yeah, I think the why they seem so good is that you do have to be kind of close to them with your wizard, right?
Yeah, which is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, we have plenty of ways to be there, but it makes it a little harder to target what you want to target.
And like we saw with Rancid Visitations and Nurgle, like, the range being very short is very restrictive on an otherwise backbreaking ability.
Right.
Yeah, like the 2-up Horde Clear is very good. Tendrils of Atrophy's in that space, but the 12-inch range might make it hard.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now we're a lot more mobile. There's no question about that. But the problem is, I don't think we have any we don't have any good move in your hero phase abilities. So
no,
unless you get a double turn, which is entirely possible, obviously, it happens plenty often. But other than that, your opponent can kind of position out of range of stuff.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So, which is the most punishing double, which is why I want the mirror in this army now. Because of Tendrils.
Yeah, no. I kind of agree with that. Yeah. Especially considering it's until the next hero phase too.
Yeah.
And so what are we giving? An Arcane Tome to a Shaman, making it Twist Fray.
Yeah.
and then mirror, Tendrils, hit it with something, move on to the
Yeah,
next thing
the
after it
Mastic
dies.
Gore seems so insane with 2 damage.
Yeah. Agree.
Next spell lore. Talk about the Thunderscorn. So the Shaggoth has 5 spells.
Oh,
All right,
5 spells
range.
available. Yeah, I was like, it's
Yeah,
not a 5 cast wizard. That would be
no,
absurd.
no. Range of 21, casting value 6 with Hailstorm. Pick one enemy unit and have the move characteristic and have run and have charge. Great.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Huge
21
range.
inches. Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So these seem like probably more controlly where the other ones are more aggressive.
Yep.
Fulgurous Blades, casting value 6, range of 18, pick up friend of the basic chaos. Basic chaos unit within range invisible. Subtract 1 from attack characteristics of melee weapons that target that unit. Okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's pretty freaking sweet.
Thunder Wave, casting value 5, range of 3. Each unit within the range takes D3 mortal. Okay, don't care. Furious Gale, casting value 6, range of 18. Subtract 1 from attack characteristic of missile weapons used by enemies while they're within range of the caster. Okay, fuck you, Helon. That's funny.
Yeah, no, seriously, huh?
Okay, I don't care what the Shaggoth does. Like, these spells are so good.
These are really good.
Yeah. And the last one is Raging Storm, casting value 8. You can heal 1 wound allocated to each friendly Thunderscore unit on the battlefield. In addition, each enemy unit on the battlefield suffers 1 mortal wound.
Yep.
That's kind of funny.
It is. Casting value 8, though. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hailstorm, Fulgurous Blades, and Furious Gale are like the clear winners.
Yeah.
Raging Storm is really funny, though.
It is really... Every unit on the battlefield takes
I
1.
like that a lot.
Everything gets chipped. Hey, did you bring enough nice dice to mark literally all of your units starting turn 1?
And like, if you're hitting like Skaven with that, Celeste would want you to hit that though.
What was
like, doing that to Celeste, that's a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, that would be the worst spell.
Yeah,
against them. You would give them so many depravity points so fast.
This is like, we'll talk about this again when we get to Shaggoth, but this makes me feel like you have to take him. Like, these are so good.
They are very good.
All right.
Problem is, I don't want to take one because I don't want to buy one.
Do a kit bash.
Yeah. Gotta figure out what to do with it, though.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Vangorian Lord is a great start.
It always is.
Yep.
All right.
Let's continue. To the sub-factions. Okay. In my opinion, and we can fight about this if you want, I think all 4 of them are good. I don't think they're equally good. But let's talk about them.
Yeah.
All heard.
I have some complaints, but yeah, let's go.
Yeah. All right, let's start with let's read them, or at least these 2, and then we can get to the complaints at the end. End of the battle shock phase. You can return D3 plus 3 slain models to each friendly all herd, gore herd, all herd, gore herd, all horde, ungore, and all herd, ungore raiders. So the D3 damage to your own guys matters a lot less when you're healing 3 plus D3.
Sure does.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, there's a ways to make like -1 attacks pretty frequently, so like you might make it some stuff survivable.
And notice it's the end of the battle shock phase, not your battle shock phase.
Yeah, so which is huge.
Happens all the time.
This is my favorite. Darkwalkers is cool too. These 2 are my favorite ones. Yeah.
I figured as much. It is actually the opposite for me, but that's okay.
Which is good, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Darkwalkers is at the end of your movement phase, you can pick 1 friendly Darkwalkers gore, herd, ungore, or ungore raiders that that is wholly within 9 inches of the battlefield edge. So that will slink into the shadows. If you do, remove it and set it up again outside of 9 and wholly within 9 of a board edge. There's probably some really crafty play you can do with that.
Yeah.
Or like all herd is just like that one just seems like generically good. Yeah. Like Darkwalker seems to reward a certain play style.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you still charge with them that turn? Well, obviously you can charge with them that turn, but do they get the +1 from the deployment ability?
Let me on my personal scroll back.
Yeah.
If the model, no, okay, so that are set up on the battlefield in the same turn get the +1. And set it up. Yes, you would.
That's funny.
That's actually good. Okay.
I mean, do you want to charge with gores and ungores? I don't know. Maybe you do.
You want to charge with gore.
Yeah.
Not alone, but you do.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's some really crafty things I think you can do there. With this one. I do like this one. This one's good. I personally don't have a whole lot of... I only have 1 unit of 10 gores.
Well, that's going to have to change.
Well, that's the problem. I don't really want it to change, but you might have to.
Yeah. We'll talk about that as we get to the War Scroll, but
yeah.
I think these are both 2 swinging hits, whether, like...
Yeah.
And I think your problem is you want to run Bestigor.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
They don't really benefit them.
Yeah, they don't. And spoiler alert, none of them do. And I'm mad about it. That's
I get
my
it.
problem. Here we are.
Okay. I had a feeling, but you know what? Like, I love these 2.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're great. It's just like...
You want to talk about the other 2 I love also?
Yes. I actually... I foresee myself playing these 2 the most.
I would probably...
Even if they're not the best ones, because they're probably not, but these are my favorites.
I don't know. Gavespawn might actually be.
Right? So, it's so cool.
Which is funny, because they usually, like, overcorrect and, like, oh, Gavespawn was, like, the most playable one last time. But it's not like you lose 1 less guy than Battle Shock.
Alright, so this one takes a whole hell of a lot of explaining. Because this means nothing. So I'm gonna skip ahead to that slide real quick. And we're gonna look at a gibbering congregation is a unit, not a unit. It's a thing you can take that actually counts as 3 units, and they're all battle line, and they're all chaos spawn. They're 3 chaos spawns, but they're all unique chaos.
So it's 220 points for 3 units. You have to take them as a pair.
Yeah, but it counts for all your battle line.
And I think yes,
but they're not normal. Chaos spawn is the thing.
No.
Normal chaos spawn are in here, but the only way you can take these special chaos spawn is with this, and you have to take them in a group of 3. But here they are, Morgurite chaos spawn.
Yeah.
So first big difference than a normal one. We're gonna assume you know the normal one for now. Is they move 10 straight up. It's not 3d6.
Which is big. Yep.
They also have 8 attacks base, 3 up, 1 damage. That's instead of 2d6 attacks, 4 up, 1 damage. Where they get +1 to hit and wound on...
They have an okay shooting attack, too.
Yeah, no, actually, I was going to say that shooting attack is pretty baller, I think.
Like, for its point cost?
Yeah,
absolutely.
For its point cost, yeah. Like, and you could just randomly, oops, I have 2 of them.
5, you're in, dude.
Yeah. Oh, right? And okay. And the biggest bit, I think, is the Aura of Insanity.
Yeah.
When you pick your target right, subtract 1 from the attack characteristics of enemy units while they're in 1 inch of this unit. Mm-hmm. Holy crap.
It can run and charge, too.
Yes, it can run and charge, too. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
These things are actually good. If I could take 1 of these, it would be insane. The fact that I have to take Gavespawn and have to take them as a group of 3, bring it down a little bit, for sure. But, they're actually super good, I think.
I think that's very aggressively costed.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited to try them. I need to kit bash myself a 3rd Chaos Spawn, but that's not hard to do. I literally just get a pile of bits and throw some green stuff around it, and there you go. You got one.
I mean, we can look at some 3D prints too and make something really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like some goat horror thing.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'll look around when I get home.
Sure.
But I think this one might actually be the strongest one.
Right? It's really cool. That's why I'm super excited about this.
You know, I'm a sucker for model return and cheap tricks.
Yeah.
But -1 attack, that's one of my best things in Soul Blight.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. It's just that is so good. That could just ruin someone's day. The 2 attack, anything that's 2 attack infantry, Bestigor's, funnily enough, just get ruined by this guy.
Also, let me tell you something. 3 attack infantry, you have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. You take the spell that reduces the enemy's attack by 1.
You do. Yeah.
Yep.
This is really...
Your Annihilators are down from 3 to 1 attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat shit, I guess. Holy my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is really cool stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're not survivable. We'll throw that out there. They're not gonna last.
But
But
like you're putting them in hordes though, right?
yeah. So like
Yeah.
they kind of have to like decide whether they want to focus this guy or not. And then they're doing it with less attacks than they normally have too.
Yep.
And they're only killing off like less than 100 points worth of models if they target it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's something, I think. There's something here.
I have a soft spot, and I'm gonna miss the when a hero dies on a 2-up, make it a spawn.
Yeah.
This might actually be better though.
I think it is. Yeah. These guys are,
it is,
and I love how they have a unique chaos spawn. Like, how cool is that?
Like Spawn of Morgul, right? Or
yeah.
no, Gibbering Congregation. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
So flavorful. Like that name. Like I don't know who Morgul is, but that's so evocative.
Yes. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to know who he is.
Me too.
Right?
Well, I don't want to know him personally.
Right.
Forget that based on all this. But you know.
Yeah, I agree. Like I love that one too.
All right. Anyway.
The Quake Fray.
Quake Fray. We're gonna go back to my second favorite one.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so friendly Quake Fray Cygors. You know the guy that you just couldn't run last book?
Yep.
Well, they're here. They're better, by the way.
A lot
better.
and
they gained the priest keyword with this, which is how cool is that? Like a Cygor, like oh my god, like I was gonna paint him today, but then I actually had the Beast Lord, so here we are. Maybe I'll paint him during the next stream. But
I'd love to see
it. I'm really glad I haven't painted him yet now because now I'm excited about him. Anyway, so and they know the normal prayers, and they also know this prayer, which, if I remember right, is actually super good.
Yep.
Answer value 3, range 12. If answered, pick one objective within range, invisible to the chanter. Each unit within 6 inches of that objective suffers D3 mortal wounds, and until your next hero phase, when determining the number of models in units that are contesting that objective, that number must be halved, rounding down. Has no effect on Beasts of Chaos units.
So, like, it's obviously how good having objective is on mass units, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously...
Oh, I think we lost you, Alex.
% chance? That's fine. And then, like, you do this damage, you do that one spell that we're like, it's okay. But, like, you can do those two. You can do the command trait. You can do Jaws of Galay. And then I think there's, like, one more other source of, like, AoE mortal wounds. Or, like, the Shaggoth can do, like, the hits everyone on the table for one.
Yeah.
Or, like, even, like, the surround one, too. Like, you can put, like, this is what, 4 or 5 sources of, like, tornadoes?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Like, the range isn't as, like, oppressive as Lumineth, but they only have 2. Like, yeah. There's some armies that can't handle, like, tornado spells. And you can just, like, mass them.
You can just throw out stuff like mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you could put the burning head and just do it. Yeah, like, at a 6, yeah. That might be a very good build.
There's something going on here. And I'm excited. And I'm here for it. You did cut out there, by the way, for a second when you started talking about that thing. So it was a little funky, but I just want to make sure you knew.
Okay. Yeah, my phone. Yeah, I'm putting the charger, so that might be part of it. It is charging, so we're good.
Yeah. I'm sure it's just hotel internet being funky.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I want to point out how cool the symbols are, like especially the Quake Fray one.
Yeah, it's like, new.
It's like a burning woods under like. It seems like prophetical, which is cool that it gives you like the priest.
Right? Yeah. I didn't really think about that before, but that is incredible. I love that.
Yeah. Like, I know we're doing like match play rules, not like art review, but like I don't know, like that kind of stuff brings the game to life to me, and I really like it.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. That's if I can really get into the army as well, like that makes it all the better, right?
Yeah, and like honestly, you bring 2 Cygor. One of them does this, the other one does curse. You can just give them curse anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And like you have a bunch of like Ungor Raiders, they suck. But if they do mortal wounds on 6s, they're a lot better.
Yep.
Gore, Ungor, Gore, like they do a lot of stuff on 6s. Like for the curse, because you just have a lot of attacks.
Yep.
I like this one.
I have another sprue worth of for a Gorgon or a Cygor, and it very well might just become a Cygor now.
Yeah,
To
I can see it.
have two priests, because the thing is, the more Cygors you include, the more priests you get.
Yep.
Right, which is very interesting.
Worth noting for Cave Spawn, regular spawn Chaos Spawns become Battle Line. In Quake Fray, Cygor and Gorgon become Battle Line too.
Yes, that is true.
I forgot to mention that, but it's important.
I think much less important for the Cave Spawn one. In fact, almost bordering on nothing at all.
Yeah, because you have your Jittering Congregation.
Yeah, which just counts as your 3 Battle Line.
Yeah.
Instantly. So the fact that well, I guess like if something cares about it being Battle Line, like say like Bounty Hunters did or something, I guess it's relevant. But otherwise,
right.
It's super relevant.
Exactly, but I guess I meant more the Cygor and the Gorgon.
Oh yeah, no, that's very relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
Like what I mean, like all 3 of them are good. Like I can't even tell you which one's the least good. Like usually there's like, this one's not great, these 2 are good, but like even if they're not all like match play top tier competitive, like they're all a rewarding experience, and that's important because you can't make them all top tier, right?
Right, of course. The one thing I'm curious how good All Herd is, I'll be honest. And I say that because it's very easy to wipe those units out because they're not super defensible normally.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you have to somehow get them to survive until after the Battle Shock phase too, which you have ways of preventing the Battle Shock phase, and you can bring a bunch back. But it's gonna be. I feel like that effect is gonna be most pronounced when you're doing like little skirmishes on the edges with like low point units, because like anything like if you go after their hammer, you're just gonna die, right?
So it's just totally fair. How I saw it is it's your answer to shooting armies. Is usually shooting is like quality damage.
Yeah.
Or like other tornado armies that hit a bunch of things for D3. And like 2 of them die, 3 of them run, you get 6 back, 5 back, 4 back.
Yeah, it's just like, look, you did nothing.
Yeah. It feels like your answer to that kind of stuff. And that like I feel like Lumineth would struggle against All Herd pretty hard.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and like you're right, Iron Jaws do not give a shit because they're going after you one at a time.
Right, yeah. And they're gonna wipe you out. Like those units in particular, they're just gonna wipe out.
Yeah, that might be the weakest one. You're probably right, but
I don't know. It's also possible it's the strongest one though. Like if you figure out how to do it right, and like maybe you like triple or double reinforce rather.
And then you use your can't pile in spell very efficiently.
Yeah, or something like that. Maybe there's something really cool there. I think on its face it might be the weakest one, but I think there's also like ways to make it like maybe the strongest one because that's a lot of guys back, right?
Yes.
So, but then they also have to do damage and be well. No, I guess they can just sit and hold objectives.
Yeah.
And just be like, look, I'm never gonna move. Woo.
You know what you probably do with that one actually? Is you probably take 2 units and like you charge the corner and then the opposite corner. And don't put anything in the middle.
Yep.
And then so they have to like pile in 2 different directions and get like a few attacks each way.
Yeah, and kind of like split their damage.
Wipe out units. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what you have to do with that.
Yeah, with fully reinforced units or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 for 4, great sub-factions.
Yeah, no, I like them all. I'm very sad that there's not one that like directly interacts with Vestigors, because that's what I most want to run. But
yeah,
I'll settle for my Cygors actually being playable. That'd be nice.
Yeah. And Gavespawn interacts favorably with your Vestigors by making them take 1 less attack from everything.
That is very true. Yep. That's no joke. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to play like the most is the Beast Lord one, I think.
I respect it. I like it a lot.
All right. Here we go.
Units.
Hey, Mr. Beast Lord, there he is.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty important. We should have put the Herdstone at the front. Should we go run to that, you think, first?
Sure.
Yeah, because I think the Herdstone colors the entire army.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. There we go.
We'll remember it for Gloomspite, too, because I think putting the terrain will be... These are 2 armies that like live, breathe, and die by their terrain.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, it didn't...
You might notice that we don't have the battle tactics in Grand strategies. That's because we're not contractually obligated to talk about him, so we're not going to.
You know what?
We don't like him.
I think I took a look at that page when I was getting images, and I was like, nope. Just moved right along. Don't care.
Absolutely.
I mean, they might be great, they might not be, I don't know.
Yeah. Herdstone is impassable. You set it up like in your territory. More than 3 from everything, fine. Second turn, you get an additional rend. Third turn, beyond, you get an additional 2 rend. So you have like a lot of crap in this army that has like... If you look at the war scrolls, it looks like there's not much rend at all.
It's the start of the 4th battle round, by the way, for the 2 rend.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah.
That changed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty big, actually.
Yeah, no, it is. It took a hit, but it didn't take the hit I thought it was going to take.
No, okay. That's actually really good to know.
Yeah.
But like even that chaos spawn, like the 8 attacks, like no rend.
Oh yeah, it has
like,
a rend.
Rend 1 at least.
By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's like, but it kind of limits how much you actually want to attack on turn 1 with your deep striking guys, because they don't quite have their full rend yet, right?
Yep.
So like I feel like turn 1 you find your best targets, right? That you can do some damage, and then you really lean in turn 2 once you get the extra rend.
Also, it's important to note that Herdstone does not affect ranged attacks.
Yes, that is correct.
It's melee only.
Yep. Which is fine, I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Beast Lord. I think that's enough.
Beast Lord. Sorry if you're getting a seizure because I'm switching between these so fast. All right, here we are.
Close your eyes for a second.
Yeah.
All right. So 5 attacks, 3s, -1, 2 damage. Easily rend 2. Can be rend 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. 6s do mortal wounds. This thing used to have a relic that let you do 3 damage, and it was base 1. I like the compromise of just being 2 damage.
Yeah, definitely. It lost 1 attack, for the record.
Yeah.
And it lost rerolls 1 to hit.
Yeah, which turned into +1 to hit later anyway.
+1 to hit and wound.
Has the fight in Tandem with Brayherd, which can be Bestigors too. That's great.
Yep.
And if it's within 3 inches of enemy hero, you add 1 to hit and wound rolls for beasts of chaos units wholly within 12. Which I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be. It might be very good.
If this unit's within 3 inches... Yeah, I mean, it makes you want to go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the fight in tandem, like, that's pretty relevant.
Or remember, like, the very beginning of 3rd edition where, like, monster heroes were, like, the thing? And, like, it's pretty easy to get within 3 of a monster hero, especially if you're trying to bring it down.
Yeah, and especially if it's, like, you got your 20 Bestigors with your Beast Lord, and those...
Oh, important note, too. He makes Bestigor battle line.
He does, yes.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, you send your 20 Bestigors, your Beast Lord at him, and they get to fight in tandem, and you just charge because obviously you came off the side of the board, right?
Yeah.
And so, look, I did it, and now you have... Now your 2s, -1, 2, or maybe -2 damage if you save it for second turn, right?
Yep.
Like, the amount of things you can do with that are really cool. Now, that being said, your opponent can definitely screen properly and have it be less of an issue, but then you do have the oops, I pulled your screen 2d6 away from your thing.
Yep. Gave me an
opposite
opening.
direction. Mm-hmm. And oops, your target's now open. Woo, here I come. Like, it's gonna be tough to actually, like, play around that to some extent, which is kind of really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the Beast Lord a lot. 145 for that seems like a bargain.
Now, that being said, it's a foot hero that's all about attacking your opponent, which traditionally is total dog shit.
The second worst unit type in the game?
Yeah. What's the worst?
Monsters that aren't heroes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think these are this unit class is contenders for worst, but anyway.
I agree.
This one might be worthwhile. I think it is.
I think so. Yeah. Fight in tandem really brings him to the next level, I think.
Yep.
And like if they're carrying an important buff, which he can be, and then some artifacts will be great too with him.
Yep.
Like when he's carrying the artifact that makes a +1 attack aura, he's worth it. He also hits himself with that, I believe, too. So
he does, yeah. I'm pretty positive. So, yeah. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun trying him, at least, in playing him. I loved him in the previous edition. Granted, he did 3 damage there, but, you know, he only does 2 here. But then he's got, you know, there's a lot of things going on. But I'm going to run him a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And I'll even have 2 now, so maybe I can double up and see how that goes.
Yeah, one ignores rend, one has +1 attack.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Great Bray Shaman. 95 points is probably probably one of the best wizards in the game still.
Yeah.
You add 6 inches to the range of the Rituals of Ruin, which were 12 inches before.
And that's so cool. That makes it so much better. I like that.
Then his spell is Devolve. Casting value 7, range of 18. Pick one enemy unit within range invisible to the caster. Until your next hero phase, roll 3d6 before that unit makes a normal move, a run, retreat, or charge move. If it's greater than the bravery characteristic, the distance is halved. Interesting.
It's very random.
Yeah. At least it's 3d6 and not 2d6.
Yes, at least you have a chance. And actually a decent chance against most things. About 50-50 against even the best of units, so.
Mm-hmm.
And actually it gets 3d6 is actually like very consistent against like low like you only need a 7 against like most units, right?
Yep.
Maybe an 8, and that's pretty consistent on 3d6.
9.5, yeah, is average.
Yeah.
Or 10.5 even.
Yeah, 10.5. Yes.
So it's even okay against death.
Exactly, right? Like it actually is like slightly over 50% against death units, which is pretty good.
I don't know. But if you saw a 95-point wizard who his spell was just D6 mortal wounds for 95, you'd be like, that's insane. He is a wizard that has access to a very good lore, and on top of that, has an inch range D6 damage.
Yeah.
On top of great spells. And if you don't need this one, you don't need this one. Alright, I'm doing Tendrils of Atrophy.
Yeah. Correct.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 will run.
Yep. Next slide.
Alright. Gores.
These are the base boys, the Gores and the best of Gores.
Yep.
Yep. So you can we'll say Gores are mediocre, but like at turn 4 with Ren 2, everything is really good at Ren 2.
Yeah.
4 ups per hit, that's a problem. You can either have +1 save or 1 more attack. Yeah, I'd probably take the 1 more attack in this army. I don't know if 4-up saves are really much to think about. Maybe it is.
Yeah, the crappy thing is I have all my model with shields.
Yeah. Well, maybe 4-up's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Standard Bearer. All the 4-up Herdstone, thank God, and it's put on Gore units who have a 5 rally. So that's reasonable.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's
and yeah, you're right.
The rally, like with all herd, and I think you run maybe the shields with these guys if you're running all herd to give them the little extra survivability so they won't die in one hit. So you lose less of them and then can like bring as many back as possible.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, the musician +1 to charge.
Yeah.
And you want to know why this guy's my favorite unit?
Why is that?
At the end of the charge phase, if it's made a charge in the same turn, you can pick one enemy unit within 1 inch that has fewer models than this unit and roll a dice, and on a 3-up, the strike last effect applies to that enemy unit.
That's pretty good.
Yep. I like strike last.
That's pretty easy to make good, to make useful too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that they actually have 2 attacks now is kind of big because they only had 1 before, and it was 4 up 1 damage.
All right, so that's actually a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
And we talked about a lot too is like you would never run Gore over Ungor because Ungor they were both like useless chaff, and Ungor were cheaper.
Yep.
And so the way to differentiate that is give this unit a roll, and that's a very good roll.
Yeah. Yeah, no joke.
Like a strike last buff. Like now there's like a difference between running these and Ungor.
Yep, which I
Ungor are 30 point cheaper and have a special rule, but like being able to dish out strike last is huge.
Yeah, at least there's like a reason, right? Like I like a reason to run different units and not just have them be, like the same.
So like as far as I'm concerned, that's A+, and whether it pans out that they're great or not or situational is fine.
Yep.
That's good a huge step in the right direction. Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Bestigor. Like I don't know. When I first read these, I thought they got hit pretty hard with the points.
Oh yeah.
So they went from like 140 to 220 for 10. But let's talk about what changed with them. They have a 2 wound characteristic now. Were they always a 4-up save? I think they were, right?
They were, yes.
Yeah. They only have 2 attacks each, but they wound on 3s instead of 4s now. And they have base round 1, which I don't know if that was always true.
Yes, it was.
Okay. They used to get +1 attack on the charge. Rally +1 charge, and despoilers. Add 1 to the attack characteristic of this unit's melee weapons while it's within 3 inches of any unit that you received the all-out defense command in the same phase.
Yeah, any enemy unit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So it's like, do you want to defend yourself? All right, I'll hit you more.
Well, that's like the thing too, is like, if like there's 2 units like kind of packed together, and you like charge with like just your bestigors in range.
Yeah.
And then the other unit, and they're like, okay, I need to survive. I'll all out defense here. You're like, cool. I get +1 attack on your other unit that's not all out defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you really
the 2 inch is a huge difference. The 2-inch range is a huge difference. I'm not. Yeah, I think they're good.
I think they are.
We demonstrated there's ways to give them +1 attacks too. We demonstrated there's a way to give them +1 damage. And if you can get these things potentially 4 attacks, 2 damage each, they are backbreaking.
Yeah, I think they only work like in combination with the rest of the book though. Like on the surface, they don't look super good, right?
I agree. Yeah.
But I think in combination with the rest of the book, they're gonna be good. Or I hope they're good because I want to run them. So
I think what we're gonna see here is there's gonna be a point premium on all of these.
Yeah.
You know how like Nighthawk, like their chaff shit is like 110.
Right.
We're like, wow, that's harsh. And then you play it and you're like, oh my god, okay, never mind. I get it.
Yep.
I think we're gonna see that.
I think if I was to guess, I would say that this is not gonna be like what a tournament list runs. But I think you're gonna be able to run it if you want to. It'll be fun.
I don't know. I think I don't know, man.
I don't want.
I don't think every tournament list. I don't think every tournament list will run them, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's gonna be like a twist fray, like Umbral Spell Portal, or like the corn one that you like with the +1 attack.
Yep.
And Tendrils of Atrophy lists that will just like make these like the harshest hammer.
It's true, honestly. Like +1 damage when you can get that many attacks is pretty
the
good.
amount of strike bonus in this book too. Like I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
And like I said, the 2-inch range I think makes all the difference. I was like, and they still have 1-inch range, I'm sure. And I looked and I'm like, oh, they don't. Hang on, that's huge. So
this is a quality unit.
Yeah.
It's B tier minimum, in my opinion.
That's fair.
And I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Like, it might not be the most competitive thing, but you can play them and have fun and do good games with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum.
You can do stuff that will seem like your opponent will go, what the heck?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Yep, me too.
Talk about Ungors and what they do.
Let's go to them.
Yeah,
they are.
Ungors. They suck. Their special thing is in combat, when you pick them to fight, they can run away.
Yes, it is.
Skinks used to have that. I'm not sure if they have it anymore. But there's a time where like Skinks dominated the game because of this rule and the zoning that you can do with this.
Yeah, you can zone with it, you can get guys on objectives with it, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, and like also like I've seen Furies do the same thing, and like granted Furies move faster and fly.
Yeah.
So way more annoying, but like it makes an interesting choice of like this guy's gonna be annoying and on objectives all game against an opponent that can have my objective count or make me count as 1 as a monster on an objective. So like they can hold objectives over me, so I have to spend time. I have to make the choice to spend time to kill this piddly thing.
Yep.
Or right, like
or
I fight the actual hammer and acknowledge that you're going to score here, and there's not much I can do about it. There's something to that.
Oh, I'm like, why? I was just looking, and it's like, what the heck is the difference between the gnarled short spear and the pitted blade? And it's the range.
Yep.
And so you always run the pitted blade because they're on 20.
Yeah, and then you put
25
them
or
in bonds
28
of battle
millimeter
if you
bases.
really want it, right?
In what?
And you put them in bonds of battle battalion in this season if you really want to run a big block of them anyway, right?
I guess.
And they're
Yeah.
25 millimeter. Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
So,
so
never
like,
mind. Yeah.
yeah, I think, yeah, you just run the pitted blade. Sorry for everyone that made them spears, because I don't think they have any use.
Just say they're blades. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah,
But, like I was looking for the shield rule. I'm like, oh, if everything can be at 4 up save,
wait.
it's not as
Here's the difference. The short spear gets the ranged attack. There it is. I'm like, why would you ever run?
okay.
Okay, and that actually has some relevance.
Something.
To some extent. A little bit.
A little bit. You're
it's about as much as one extra attack with the melee weapon's going to be anyway, right? So, like, whatever.
I'm going to tell you, I'd probably pick the spears just so I can try to do something without committing.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't care either way.
Yeah. I don't think that's really what they're doing, either way. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're running away. Yep. They're being annoying.
Exactly. All right, let's see what the Raiders do, though.
Yeah. So, they have one less save, 2 attacks with their bow at 12-inch range, 4/4, so shit, honestly.
Yeah.
And then once per battle, at the start of your movement phase, if this unit is in reserve, you can pick a point on the battlefield edge and say this unit will unleash a hidden volley. If you do so, this unit can shoot in that phase, but it must target the closest enemy unit at that point. More than one enemy unit is tied, you can pick which one it'll target. Okay, so you're doing your rituals from the board edge turn 1. You can commit 0 models and still have, like, a reasonable impact on the game.
Yeah, you can have a reasonable turn. How silly is that?
Yeah.
You can hit something for D6 damage and then shoot it with your Ungor Raiders. It's like, oh, your little linchpin there? Great. Let's just throw everything at it.
If you pull the screen away, like, I don't know. Sometimes
you kill off a screen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, put the Bestigors and the Beast Lord to charge something like the monster hero behind. Something like that.
I can see these doing nothing, or I could see them doing a lot, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Also, another note is if you bring these in Zinch's book, you can put them in the Silver Tower, shoot from the board edge, and then drop them in with the Silver Tower.
Can you take them in Zinch's book? Are they allies?
Yeah, they're coalition.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're coalition. That's right. That makes sense. Oh, that's cool.
So let me put it this way: you're not doing that competitively, but it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
There's something to it, and it's probably very fun.
Yeah. Is it making me want to paint up 30 of them? Not enough.
No.
But maybe that is the play. I don't know. How much damage is that on average? If you run 30 of them. So 60 attacks, but you quarter it for how many are actually going to hit. 15 attacks will actually hit, or actually wound. No rend, so we'll say they have a 4-up save.
Yeah,
shit,
so
7 damage is not bad.
Yeah, they're better than crossbows. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 damage against, like, they're 115 points for 10, though. I just noticed that. That is kind of expensive.
So I feel like it's going to be like, do you want 3 Ungors or 2 Ungor Raiders?
Yeah.
Is how it's going to be. Like, I don't think you run a lot of these, but it's like if the points allow, you might as well upgrade them and give them a bow.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yep.
I don't hate them, but, like, I think it's one of those things you got to play the book and figure out.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Next one.
Tuskar Chariots. I hadn't even looked at these because no thanks.
Well, so basically all they do is they have the Ogre charge. They're like the Chaos Chariot.
Okay.
Are you running the Chaos Chariot? You're probably not running the Tuskar Chariot. If you like the Chaos Chariot, you're probably running this. And it's a 1-of at most.
Yeah. It's only 95 points, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think you have better things.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But, like, it looks cool-ish. The idea is cool.
I don't even like the look of it, but that's okay. I want that to be
all
right.
Right. A modern version of that sculpt, I think you'd love.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep.
The thing made out of fucking Play-Doh, you probably don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
I base my decisions way too much on the model. The model has to be good, or else
I think everyone does, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's about the version. Like, you're building an experience.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I don't care to win that badly that I'm gonna buy a bunch of crap models.
They're okay. They're usable because they have, like, the 5-up. So basically,
Oh, I'm not saying that they're necessarily good. I'm just saying even if they were,
yeah.
I wouldn't care that much.
So like, let's say you roll a 9 on the charge, you roll 9 dice, each 5 up's a mortal wound. If there's a wound characteristic 1 or 2, it's each 4 up instead. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's talk about Centaurs though, because I actually think these are very interesting.
14-inch move is a lot.
Yeah, so it's 170 for 5, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But they have the Hexwraith combat profile, which has surprised me with how efficient that actually is, with a ranged attack attached to them. They have the plus the 5 up rally, and they have the add 1 to run and charge, of course. Add 1 to the attack characteristic of this unit's melee weapons while it's wholly within 9 of any objectives that you do not control. There's something to that. And then they have this rule called Drunken Revelry. The first 2 wounds or mortal wounds caused to this unit in this combat phase are negated. In addition, if a model in this unit would flee as a result of a failed battle shock test, you can roll a dice, and on a 2-up, it does not flee.
Wow.
There's something here, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think there's something to this.
Yeah. It's interesting.
The first 2. Yeah, that makes them pretty immune to chip damage.
Yeah, and they're really good at like taking and like a I think they're the perfect skirmisher, right?
Yeah.
They're perfect to go for that faraway objective away from the battle where your opponent probably put some unit that's low point cost.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming after them. They might not even do 2 wounds to you in combat, and you just negate it, right? You just don't care.
And it's a decent profile.
And then you get extra attacks with all of your... like, they each have, 6 attacks if you're within 9 inches of an objective?
Yes.
And Herdstone increases the rend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there's definitely something here.
Yeah, like, I feel like Flesh Eater Courts or, like, Soulblight Gravelords, like, the 80-point chaff units, like, and then they just extend them barely to get the point.
Yeah.
They're moving 14. They're adding run 1 to charges. Like, they're going to get there. They're going to clear them out, and then they're going to be, like, not that easy to move.
Yeah.
I think
they do have a 4-up save, so, like,
to.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think well, okay, the question is this better than Enlighten on Disc? Which is your other thing for doing this kind of thing. Which
I guess we'll get to that.
We'll get there. But I think that's definitely something to consider, because...
That's fair.
Yeah.
So at the very least, it's not an embarrassing unit to run, right?
Yeah, correct. I think
like, a unit that had no purpose now has, like... Actually, there's something really cool going on here.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Are they good enough? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think so, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
I guess we'll talk about the Enlightened on Disc then.
Yeah, why don't we just skip right to them then, real quick, so that we can make a quicker comparison. Oh, I lost you, Alex.
That's actually quite a ways back. Yeah, okay. I guess we'll go there.
Okay, I missed you there for a second. Or you cut out a little bit, but you're good. You're back. No, it's all good. All right. Yes, it is most of the way back, but here we are. I pulled it up. Yeah. So, okay. I think this is a pretty fair comparison, though, because, like, we want to know, like, is it worth it? So, okay. So these are, what, 45 more points for 3 of them.
On the disc, yeah. Okay.
The wounds are actually in favor of the Enlighten on Disc by 2, but they don't have the prevent the first 2 damage, right? So
that's
then you can essentially say they have the same.
What was that? That's probably why the Centaurs have that.
Yeah.
Like, they are indeed this exact scenario, and then they made it equal.
Yeah. Enemy units within 3 inches of these cannot receive commands. I mean, I don't think these changed from the Tzeentch book, but...
No, they didn't, but it's worth talking about here.
Yeah, but they have an absolute buttload of attacks, right?
Mm-hmm. Add 1 to wounds in the second battle round. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the other ones have, what, 6 attacks each? If they're within 9 of objective. Let's just say that's what you're trying to do with them, so they have it, right? And then there's 5 of them, so that's 30 attacks. That are all 1 damage, though. And these have, we'll say, an average of 7 attacks each, but only 3 of them, so 21 attacks. But most of them are doing more than 1 damage, so the damage right off the bat is probably about the same, right? Or pretty close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then turning off commands for your opponent is really good, I feel like. And they actually move faster too, which is funny.
Yep.
And you can pretty easily just add 1 to wound rolls for over half the attacks.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Man.
I know, right? Like, I don't know.
They're quite equivalent, I think.
I think they are. And I think because they're quite equivalent, like for me anyway, I already have the Zangor Enlightened, so I'm probably not going to be running the Centigors. But you just say 45 points, right? So like maybe it fits better in a list. But I don't know if they're actually.
They also count more on the objective.
They do. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely something to consider.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah, these guys are kind of blenders though. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really.
I'd like to put this in Math Hammer at some point.
Yep.
Let's see what the actual damage difference is.
All right, I went back to Razor Gores.
Okay. Yeah, because that is one of the ugliest sculpts I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I
didn't even read it, to be honest.
I would 100% run these bad boys. The corn ones instead.
Yeah. So at the end of your charge phase, in this minute move in the same turn, double the attack character. Oh, so it's double the attacks on the charge, and it's 4 attacks, 4s, 3s, no rend 2 damage.
Oh, it's 65 points for one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a unit. No, it's literally 1.
Yeah.
What?
I think you can reinforce them though, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You are not, but you could.
Is there anything here?
Okay, actually.
I mean, I'm sure they're balanced fine for like being okay. But
yeah. I'm not excited by them, but like they don't seem bad. All right, that's all I want to say about them. Yeah. Slongors.
Slongors. Hi there, Slongors.
They have
get better.
Check profiles, and they're the exact same, except for the leader has 1 more.
Yeah.
It's like we have nomenclature for that we refuse to use. But 130 for 3 of them, moving 8. Go ahead.
Oh no, nothing important.
Okay. So I'm just trying to value these. So 130 points for 13 attacks. At Rend 1, probably Rend 2, 2 damage. Hitting on 4s. If you shoot them, they move D6. And once per battle, they can fight twice, but the second fight gets strike last.
But are they surviving after the first attack?
If they have to fight something else more important, yes. But I don't know, like I see that argument brought up all the time where like they fight twice but the strike last effect applies. Sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's not at all a problem.
Right. And I think
it's
the
definitely a fair way of doing it.
3 wounds, only 3 wounds each, or only 9 total wounds is kind of the killer here.
Yeah, but it's 130 points. Like, if you get to fight and then you say, I get to fight twice, and then they have to like divert attention into them, they're not diverting attention to the things that are mattering and probably on objectives, right?
Yep.
I don't know. They're probably not the most competitive, but they're not like...
I don't think they're as embarrassing as they were.
They need a designer note saying, sorry for the first War Scroll. I don't know what we were thinking, but other than that,
yeah,
this is reasonable.
Yeah, they're fine. I think you can actually run them at least now, which is...
Yeah.
Well, thank God.
For a great model, but yeah, they're okay.
Yeah. I think
it might be better than okay, but I think they're okay.
Yeah. They're at least not the last one. Because, wow, that was bad. Remember that one time I tried to run them, and they did literally nothing to your Vengorian Lord, and then he stepped over them?
Yep.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Very sad.
Yeah, they were bad.
That poor Vengorian Lord just, like, ran havoc on that game. That
oh my god, insane. It did. Yeah. Alright.
Doombull and Bulgors.
I honestly have not read these yet, so... Because I don't
So, the problem with the Doombull is he's got 2 attack profiles, and it's 2 attacks and 3 attacks. It's all the stuff that we were talking about earlier of, like... buffing them. Or, like, buffing a weapon to make it ignore rend. Or wards. Like, it's not as good, but it holds the +1 attack command trait better because him and his guys have multiple attack profiles.
Right.
Yeah. He can use a command at the start of the combat phase. It has to issue to a Warhorde, which is another Bulgor. and you can attempt to charge. That's so weird. Okay, let me read this clearly. So you can use the command ability at the start of the combat phase. This unit must issue a command and must receive it. Okay, I don't know why that's written there. Warhead within 12 and more than 3 inches from all enemy units. If you do so, you must attempt to charge that unit. Oh, okay. So if he's like out in the open and then they charge him, he can just summon his friends to him.
Oh, okay. That's where it's relevant. Yeah.
Okay,
it
got
to
it.
Be your combat phase.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of cool.
think now to note, I think the Gorgon is also Warherd.
You're probably right.
So I haven't looked this edition, but I think it
that.
was last edition. So
I can check quickly because he's on the next. He is Warherd. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you could summon a Gorgon to your aid too, which is
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
He does impact charges and he does double with his axe on a hit roll of 6.
Yep.
So 6 damage is that's scary, but like he's only got 3 attacks, 160, 8 wounds with a 4-up save. He seems okay.
Yeah. That seems to be a common theme. Is these units all seem okay, which is nice. They seem to put a little math hammer into them and like kind of got them all pretty close, right?
The allegiance abilities are definitely the most powerful things in this book.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not even close. Yeah.
Not even close. Yeah.
How are the Bulgor? So they can be battle line with a Doom Bull General, of course. They can have like a shield or an axe or a paired axe or a big axe. Big axe is only 2 attacks though. That's rough.
Yeah.
They'd probably math out pretty equivalently.
I would guess they do, and also that takes +1 attack way better.
Yeah. What's the banner do? 1 in every 3 issues a charge. If it includes the Warhead, you can reroll the dice that determines whether an enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. Oh, so you do a mortal wound on a 2-up, and the banner lets you reroll that. Okay.
Just make it happen. Oh, it's each model in this unit, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's a little better.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So it's like more reliably 3 mortal wounds on a charge. Actually,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. I thought it was just like the the normal charge ability. This unit charges and then just does 1 mortal wound, and I'm like, why are we re-rolling that?
Yeah, if it's for each model, it's fine. Yeah.
Each model, like, okay, yeah, you missed with 1. It's like, all right, I'll get another shot at it. Probably do 3.
I feel like people like Bulgor, and they probably got better from last time. I think I'd take the shields and just use these as like my meat in the army.
I might. Yeah, 5-up save kind of sucks. Quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially at 195 points for 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta give me a real reason to run these over, say, I don't know,
anything
Enlightened
else,
on disc.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to keep coming back to those.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't see the purpose of the bulls here.
Yeah.
At least competitively. Maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe there's something here because they get the horns too, right? So
yeah.
I mean, and that is a 2 damage attack. So what are these guys actually? They.
So let's say
what's the cleaving axe do special? It's got to do something, right?
Nope.
What am I missing? Oh, you can paired cleaving axe. Oh, or the shield. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah.
Actually, I think. Think of argument. Let's say you give them the paired cleaving axes and the horns. So that's like 6 attacks at 2 damage, and with the command trait, you can make them 8 attacks at 2 damage.
Do they not just get the horns?
They do have the horns. Yeah.
Okay, they always have the horns. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe there's something there.
I think we've been saying the whole the math hammer's probably there that they're fine.
Yeah,
with the other ones. I think they just probably don't combo as well with everything else, right? Like, I guess the cool thing here is with the Doom Bull and like getting to charge on your opponent's turn and stuff like that. That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
nifty, right? And like that's kind of like their allegiance ability, I guess we'll say, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they get. That's different,
right? I don't know. I just see the gore and the ungore and the bestigores, and I'm like, this is awesome, right? And I'm looking at like these, and I'm like,
like maybe. Yeah.
They might be thick enough to be fine.
Yep, I agree. Maybe.
Yeah,
but they're not super thick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you're right though. I think you take them with the shield if you're gonna take them.
Yeah,
but then again, I don't know. These guys are tough. to evaluate.
+1 attack with 3 damage weapons though, like that could be cool.
Yeah, exactly. And with a decent rend too.
Yeah.
Maybe and mortal wounds on the
they're
charge. Oh, and what
Mhm.
was the last ability again?
If they roll a 6 to hit on their weapons, it's the damage characteristics doubled.
Wait, no, it's mortal wounds equal to the damage characteristic and attack sequence ends?
Oh!
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, they changed. Okay. I was going off the old one. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's Mortals on. It's just Mortals on.
Okay, never mind. Okay, there's something there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, I like these.
Yeah, because actually the Iron Cap horns, that makes the Iron Cap horns a lot better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, these probably do great work. These are probably good.
I think they are. I don't know if they're worth getting for me, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway. You know, they just seem like straightforward, like no tricks, all meat.
Yeah, and I do
an army that does
like
not benefit that. Yeah.
I mean,
they're probably good.
And that's the thing. Like, we have such a tricksy army that it might be nice to like just have some raw power. Like, yeah, there's probably a bunch of things we can do already with them that we're just not even like considering.
Actually, I wonder too. Are Cygars war? Well, Cygars are Warhorde.
They are, yes.
So that might be really cool with Cygor, like that. I forget what they're called. That subfaction that makes them priest. Quake Fray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's talk about Gorgon. I don't quite remember his profile. I remember like you did 1 damage to him and then he bracketed like crazy.
Yeah, he did.
The bracketing doesn't seem.
It's not nearly as brutal. Yeah, it's not nearly as brutal. And he has 16 wounds. 16 wounds is a lot, as it turns out.
Yep.
Like, he might have a 5-up save still, but, like, shit, he's got a lot of wounds to go through.
Yeah. Tackless and I think Nagash both have 16. So yeah, so he's got a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, you can eat guys with Swallow Hull. And then, like, 3 damage with 2 rend. It's not bad.
Yep. And then he can improve his rend even further if you really need to.
Yeah.
And with this monstrous rampage.
Yeah, and I just gotta read the.
And you can heal him. That's right. He heals if you use that as well. Which with 16 wounds, that's relevant, right?
Yeah.
For slaying mobs.
So I went back to the command trait for the +1 attacks.
Yep.
That's only Bray Herd.
Okay, all right.
So it doesn't matter on the Bulgors, so.
Okay, so not as
make sure we know that. Yeah. So I was wondering, like, if we can give him like more attacks, like an extra D6, that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, no joke.
We can't,
but that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, he seems fine.
Yeah.
240 points. That's cheap for a monster.
Yeah. And like a much better one than what it was. Like they did what I was hoping they would do, and they made him better instead of just making him cheaper. Like that's what I always wanted. They just kept making this guy cheaper instead of better. And I'm like, can you make him better, please? Like pretty, please. With sugar on top.
Well, the amount of strike last in this army too, like it makes it harder to bracket them before they get to fight at least.
Yep, absolutely.
I like them.
You put a gibbering congregation near him or something.
Yep.
Oh no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't because you'd be running these in Quake Fray almost certainly. But well, no, there's no reason you can't include one. So that's actually
exactly.
Yeah.
I like these better than Bulgors for your hammer, to be honest.
I think so. And I own one, so that's a big difference.
And they're very cool looking models.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
I love this army. Yeah.
You should definitely start this army too, Alex.
I can't, dude.
I know, I'm joking.
Like I'm having like a crisis about how many I own already.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's like I just want to sell them all, get them out of here.
There's definitely a few that I'm like, I'm probably not going to run this army anymore. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Exactly. That's how I'm feeling too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I want like 5 and that's it.
Like my chaos armies, like I'm like, yeah, all of these are great, and then like all my order armies are like, maybe not.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate that for you. You can like really delve into like corn and stuff and do terrain and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something to think about.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Let's talk about Cygors.
Yes.
Get right back on track. Because they have gotten way better, I think.
Yeah. Hey, that boulder doesn't just do 1 damage now. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, every D6 should be like 4
Look,
minimum, and this
that
is
boulder
5.
can actually hit now too. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I talk about this a lot in our friend group, but the first game of OBR when that book first came out,
Mm-hmm.
in like turn 1, you just threw a rock at the Soul Mason and squished him.
Oh well, that's true. That was really funny.
It
I
was
enjoyed
really
that a
fun.
lot.
And look how much easier it is to do now.
Oh yeah, right?
Hmm.
Like, oops, I smushed him.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the range was 18, is now 12.
yeah.
But he's that much better in combat that I think it's okay. Because I'm pretty sure he used to be 8 attacks with the horns, but it was like threes, no rend, 1 damage, maybe -1.
I
But
can look that up real quick.
It was
because
way worse.
I kept the second edition app just for moments like these.
Yep, there you go.
And it's going to take forever to open, but I think you're right, because I remember this thing did no damage. And when the White Dwarf came out, we did the review about like the monstrous rampages.
Yep.
And I said if we live in a world where endless spells come showing up, consume endless spells actually good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's enough endless spells now where that's actually like irrelevant.
I think the best part about it is now it's extra, right? As opposed to like something I'm bringing it for. Now it's like, oh, I have this in addition, and I didn't.
It's its utility, not its role.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And its role that it's a priest.
Yeah, its role is like a priest that can throw a sweet ass boulder and actually do damage.
You're right. So the boulder was 4s, 2s, -2 d6.
Yep.
Now it's 3s, 2s, -2, 5.
Yep.
And the horns were 8, 4s, 3s, -1, 1.
Yeah.
Now it's 7 attacks at 3s, 2s, -1, 2.
Yeah.
Which is easy to get -2. Like that's actually like a scary profile.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's only 210 points for 16 wound monster that can be a priest.
Yeah.
And they all can be priest if you want to bring multiple of them. Can you imagine throwing 2 rocks at something?
Yeah.
Like, that seems pretty good, right? I think it's good. I don't know. I'd be willing to try it.
I think Quakefire you bring 2 for Curse and its Prayer.
I think you do. Yeah. I really do. And not to mention,
I almost like these better than Gorgons now.
What was that?
I almost like these better than Gorgons now.
A little bit, right? Like, at least it's comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gorgons being 3 damage, but they're only 4 up to hit. Like, Cygors are 3s to hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's not nothing.
Like these guys used to be like, I don't get these in combat because they're not going to do anything there. So all of a sudden, like, I'll charge you. Yeah, come at me. Or, well, I
There's also
charge
something
you.
to be said, too, about, like, having a monster in tandem with your Horde unit. Especially when you can give them Strike Last. You can just fit more things now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because they're narrow bases, too. They're ovals, right?
Yeah, they are ovals. Yep.
Dude, I fucking love these. Yeah, they're great.
I think they are. Yeah, which is very exciting.
They're very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So after that,
Dragon Ogre
Shaggoth. Here he is.
Yep. So the best spells I've ever seen. Like, that's a great lore.
They're very good.
Like the master of the wins themselves. He lost the if you make a tie on the priority roll on a 4-up, heal D3.
Thank God.
That's gone. That's good. So at the end of combat phase, on a 2-up, you heal D3.
Yeah,
and if there's any enemy unit, he could, and then so that's how it changed to. So it just heals D3 at the end of the combat phase, and if he's near enemies on a 2-up, he does D3 mortal wounds, which is great in like your many tornado lists too.
It's interesting. It's at the end of the combat phase.
Yep. Yeah, so before Battle Shock too.
Yeah.
He's got like a decent amount of attacks, like 2d6, 3s, -1/1 for range. That's kind of cool for lightning.
Yeah. No, that's
the model needs an
not
update,
bad.
but like I love the concept of this thing, right? Like this thing is just nature incarnate, and it's a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So now here's the question. Is it worth 275 points? It has the worst wounds characteristic in the game. It only has a 4-up save.
It's only a 1 cast.
It's only a 1 cast. It's moving 4 or 8 rather, which is good. But is that enough for 275 points? Awesome.
You know what's hilarious?
What's that?
This reminds me exactly of the Vengorian Lord.
It does. Oh, I was
I
literally
think
thinking that. Yeah.
285.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone's like,
one
this isn't
level
worth it
wizard.
at all, and he totally is.
Yeah, and he's got like, Vengorian Lord has like the crazy anti-rend thing, and like some decent stuff to him, and like his attacks aren't great, and this guy's attacks aren't great, but they're like fine.
But see, the thing to me is the Vengorian Lord is like the most survivable thing in the world.
And this isn't. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But this
Yeah.
thing has some of the best spells I've ever seen. So, like, maybe? I really don't know. I don't know how to evaluate this guy at all.
I could see this going down
It's
like
so
20,
hard.
right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad war scroll. Like, if it's bad, it's its points, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like, I like this guy, but I don't know if I 275 points like this guy.
Exactly.
And maybe
right?
I'm totally wrong. But, like, I want someone to show me why I'm wrong first. You know?
Honestly, though, like, now thinking about this, you know, get him on turn 2. You have Tendrils of Atrophy up. And then he's like a tiny little base, and you charge him in. Like, he's got like 5 attacks, Rend 2, 3 damage, D6, Rend 1, 2 damage, 4, Rend 1, 1 damage. Like, that's actually some.
That's a lot of damage.
Mental power, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, with all of the things combined in the book, like, you're paying a premium for the allegiance abilities for sure.
Yeah, you are. That's probably the thing that we gotta, like, also consider, is that, like,
Yeah.
this guy in any other book is probably cheaper, but here the allegiance abilities are so good. Right? It's kind of like the Nikon effect, right? Where
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he's very worth it, but if he's not, he goes down like 20 at most, I think.
Yeah. And then he's
because if he like that profile I read to you at like 220, like oh my fucking god, that'd be insane.
Right?
On top of being like a wizard with some of the best spells.
Yep.
With like a really consistent cast bonus to them too.
Yeah, you could just give him that command trait and boom.
Honestly, like I think you give him that command trait Arcane Tome.
Yeah.
And like he's just an insane wizard in addition.
Yep.
He might be actually that might be where he is. Like you might have to build him at his point cost.
I don't
like some units are like they're just good because they're good. Mm-hmm. And like some heroes are like they're pointed for the bullshit that you can put on them through the like enhancements.
Yep. Yeah, he might be.
Man, if he was 9 wounds though, like he would be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a monster though, for the record.
Oh, that's great too, even, yeah.
So there is that.
Okay, so he can roar.
He can roar. He counts as 5 models on an objective, if it's relevant.
If I had to put money on him, I would say 40% of lists run him.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Is he the general you want in Quake Fray?
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm not sure. There's gonna be a lot of things to try, and I just don't know.
Yeah. I like that though. That's great though. There's a lot of hard choices in this book.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. That's so good.
Now, are we actually running him with Dragon Ogres, is the question.
Let's talk about Dragon Ogres. So they got 1 more damage on their attacks. And they're just forced to take the weapons with the many attacks.
Yep.
So easily Rend 2. So 5 attacks, 3s, 3s, minus 2, 2s. Pretty fucking good.
Yep.
And the claws are fine. They move 8, 5 wounds, 4 up saves, so they count as 2 on the objective. That's cool.
Yep.
You can't put them in bonds of battle, though. They got a 2-inch range. They heal at the end of combat, and then they on a 2-up do D3 mortal wounds. And then the unit made a charge move in the same turn. And a hit roll is 6. It automatically wounds. But only on the charge. Weird.
Yeah.
But maybe in Quake Fray, these are really good. Because you're doing like all the mortal wound AoE stuff. And then you're charging all these guys in fighting. And then the Ogre Shaggoth deals damage, and then these deal damage. And if you have like a couple of these, that might be an overwhelming amount of mortal wounds.
It might be.
So like actually decent damage.
Like, I think there's something here. Do I want to like suddenly change what I'm playing personally all around to do it? Probably not. But like,
No.
I think someone that has these are still gonna be happy with them.
They're a lot more expensive, but
Yeah.
like +1 damage is a pretty big buff.
Mm-hmm. They're not gonna be
And
what they were when they were total bullshit, right? But
right.
but I think they're fine.
And like and then 3 damage with tendrils of atrophy. Like it's so hard for me to look at any of these units and not consider tendrils of atrophy.
Yeah.
Even though it's like hard to get off, but like in the situation where like they're in range and you can hit them, like whatever you're fighting is just fucking dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like everything in this book can do that.
Yep.
I like these better than Bulgor, I think, personally.
I think so too. And they're actually pretty easy to get now because they're in the Vanguard box.
Yep.
So there's definitely that to consider.
Yeah. There's definitely like a kit bash for Shagath that can be the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, right. There's gotta be something for him.
I'm almost sad they didn't resculpt that over the Beast Lord.
Yeah, the Beast Lord honestly didn't really need it, but that's
the new one's really cool. But I would have loved to see him do this,
I love
right?
it. He's great. Like
yeah,
but
one
did
day
he need it?
we'll
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue.
Yep.
Chaos Warhounds. Basically, they're just like dire wolves with 6-up save instead of a 5-up, and when you charge, you can change one of the dice to a 4. They're chaff.
They're totally
They're
chaff.
fast, cheap chaff.
Yep, fast, cheap.
And at 110 for 10, that's really good.
Yeah, for 2 wounds each.
Chaff.
That's actually whoa, that wound economy is really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
And like you see the bullshit I do with dire wolves. They're not quite as good, but they're very similar.
Yeah, they are very similar.
Yeah.
They're better at charging.
And these will actually have rend.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And they have 2 attacks each?
Yeah.
Force 3s, 1 damage with rend? They'll get rend?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, are they good?
Yes.
I think they are.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
I really hope they're the same size as these bad boys. So that I can just run these. Because I don't want them. Because those are kind of ugly old models. But
and like everybody has dogs. Like you can get wolves anywhere.
Man. Yeah, exactly, right?
Put horns on them. You did it.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun project. I think one is like very good.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to deep strike them if you don't want to. And they can just like reach out and touch objectives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they die, oh well.
Yeah, they're only 110 points, and your opponent actually has to put some attacks into them.
Yeah, if they died, they move towards you. You move them towards you with your ruined, and then you mass charge that thing.
Yeah.
Because now it's so much closer for you, and you just cheated movement in the charge phase.
Dude, these guys have 20 attacks.
Yes.
Like, 20
these are dire
kind
wolves.
of okay attacks.
Yep.
With rend for 110 points.
They're dire wolves. Yeah, they're so good.
Huh. That's pretty sweet.
I was like, I gotta get some now.
But no, I'm definitely using what I already have. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Chaos Spawn or Chaos Spawn.
Yep.
That's it.
They haven't changed.
You know what to do.
Yep.
You're not mainboarding them, ever.
I already moved on.
Yep. Jabber Slice. I think he's relatively the same. 160. He's a monster that doesn't bracket, which is pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He can do the Aura of Madness, which is like lowers the save characteristic.
Yep.
Which
is kind of cool.
Does some mortal wounds when he gets hit. Like he's good.
Yeah.
Nothing really new here, but like if you liked him before, you'll still like him. He's fine. Cockatrice, however, though, stonks. I think absolutely. This might be one of the best units in the book. So they're 5 attacks, basically. I don't know why the beak and the sword-like talons are 2 different profiles that are exactly the same, but different range.
Yeah, that's weird.
However...
But it has rend.
Instead of a shooting attack... Yep, they have rend. And they get double the attack characteristic on the charge.
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? Oh, my lord.
On a charge, they're 10 attacks, which you can do it pretty easy. 105 points. In addition, at the start of the combat phase, not your combat phase, the combat phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 6 and roll a dice, and on a 4-up, D3 mortal wounds. And then, if any mortal wounds caused by this ability are allocated to a unit, until the end of that phase, only unmodified hit rolls of 6 for attacks that made with that melee weapon by that unit score a hit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, they only have a 6-up save, to note. They do have 8 wounds, though.
For 105 points.
For 105 points. I'm pretty glad I have one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things, too, where it's like, if like on a 4-up, they only hit on 6s now. You're in your Gave spawn, they have 1 less attack. Like, this is what I mean when you're like, these guys are paper. I'm like, you have so many ways between like this crap, strike last.
Yeah. You have
attack.
a lot of ways to make things not hit you.
Yeah.
In very weird ways, but
Yep.
Yeah.
And this book's so good.
I think it is. I think it's going to be hard to pilot right, but I think it's very good.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Like B in the average player, A in the competitive pro.
Yeah.
I think so. Which is good. Probably. Where we want it to be.
Yeah. It's interesting.
There's so much learning, so much like toolboxy stuff here.
Yep.
And like you can't take it all though, right?
No, that's true.
Like, that's the thing.
You need to have like something that's, cohesive in some way, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not just going to be like, look, I toolbox everything and don't have a plan. Is that probably
exactly? Yep. I don't think so, but like I don't know. There's something here. It sucks that it's only on a 4-up. It does its insane thing, but like I don't know. Even like on the charge, 10 attacks at round 1 with that, like for 105 points, it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. Chimera.
I like this boy.
Yeah, essentially he got less damage but doesn't bracket, which is big.
Yep.
I also like that instead of like he's just D3 mortal wounds in the shooting, instead of like on a 3-up does some damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And his monstrous rampage is add 1 to the attacks.
No, the fiery breath got worse, right?
Right.
Because it used to be D6 mortal wounds and now it's D3.
Oh, I thought it was like on a 3-up D6.
No. I'm pretty sure it just does.
You're probably right. I remember that now, yeah.
Or I played it wrong for years. There's one of the two.
Yeah. And then +1 attack as a monstrous rampage is pretty good.
Well, the thing about that is it's not just 1 attack, right? Because it's
all of them. Yeah,
it's 4 attacks.
And one of them is D6 damage, one of them is 3 damage. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's cheap. It's priced to move.
Yeah. It's a monster. It can move fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't have its bonus to charge anymore though. Which sucks a little bit, but like if you're deep striking it in, it gets the +1 anyway.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably fine. It's definitely just a beat stick, right? Like that's what it is. It's a hammer. You're running it because it's a hammer.
A counter punch unit to me, personally.
Yeah, like you keep it back and then it's got enough movement that you can just like go hit whoever they charged.
Yeah, you put this not on an objective. Or like touching something on like your backfield or something. And then like if they shoot at it, great. They're not moving anything on the objectives. You're scoring still. They're not. So they're forced to shoot at your crap that's scoring. And then like when they come in and charge that, he just comes in and cleans up after. And then he's fast enough that you can put him in the middle of 2 things and go either way depending on where they go.
Yep.
He's a counterpunch unit is how I see him, but
and now the other interesting thing about this army in general is I think, now I could be wrong, but it feels pretty resistant to shooting, right? Because the best shooting is usually like, I'm doing quality shooting attacks against your best save guys, right? I'm trying to do mortal wounds to them. It's usually not like I'm doing a lot of hits.
Yes.
It's usually quality stuff. So I think this book in general is just kind of resistant to that too. It's like this guy, for instance, like, yeah, go ahead. What was that?
Week, but not in the way Gloomspite is, and we'll talk about that next week.
Fair enough.
But like, I don't know, we have better rally in this book. We have like the Bray Herd, or All Herd, right?
Yeah.
Like is really good anti-shooting tech.
Yep.
But just like mass wounds, And like being able to hide from it turn one, and then being so interestingly enough, like I'm not sure how much shooting you fight, but I feel like everybody goes through the learning curve of like they put one thing in range of shooting, it gets shut off the table, and you're like, wow, okay, I have to be out of range of shooting, and then you do that, and then you don't hold any points, and then you're like, okay, well that sucked. What do I do? And then the solution to that is put your entire army in range of shooting.
Yes.
Just do it. Accept the fact you're losing your best thing, and then the next turn you get to go all in on their army.
Yep.
A bunch of crap. And beasts like the wound count. Yeah, because you're right. Like most oppressive shooting is quality damage,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't care.
Yeah, because I just have so many wounds, right?
Yep.
That it's just like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, because 12 wounds for 185 points. Like, I'm looking at Blade Geist, right? Like they're 10 for 180. Stuff like that is around that point cost.
Yeah.
Like, that's not unreasonable. And then you have a bunch of chaff. Yeah, I don't know. And like you can hide from it and then yeah, because you can do both. You can hide from it and then be your whole army in range doing important things. Like in one turn because you're deep strike
Yeah,
army
because I'm
wide.
just like, hey, look at all that shooting. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
All my guys are in deep strike. Great turn one.
Yeah, and
all
you
right.
get a chance to hit it before they hit you back too.
Yeah,
Even
and then you can see where they're going, and you see where they are. You can always deploy after them, right? You can just see where their guys are. Yeah, there's like so many ways to get around shooting in this army, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, that was
All right.
definitely a tangent, and it is getting very late.
Yeah, let's rush through.
All right, Skyfires
are the same.
They're the same.
They ignore positive modifiers for shooting.
Did they do anything in Zinch right now?
No.
No.
I don't see them in lists, so they're not going to be here.
Yeah, I got a feeling they're not going to be here. I guess maybe Zinch has just a better shooting unit that takes this place that Beast doesn't have, so maybe here.
They have spells, and like you don't have as much damage. I don't know. You have a lot of. No, I don't think you're going to see them because you have like the ruin and then the tornado stuff. I don't know. I don't think it.
Yeah. All right. We already went over Enlightened.
Yeah.
Zangors.
And Morgite.
Zangors didn't change, right?
Nope. Okay. They're the same.
So, like, maybe they're... I guess the thing to compare them to is, like, are they better than Bestigors for their points?
Maybe.
Maybe. They have the weirdest profile in the world.
Yeah, because they can do, like, a little bit of range shooting. Yeah, I don't know. They're not... Oh, they are Brayherd. Okay.
Yeah, so they can get buffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Great Blade. Savage Blade. Oh, well, they don't have base rend if you take the Savage Blade.
Yep.
And can you take all Great Blades?
No, I think it's like one in every... It's the weirdest thing. Like, it's so annoying.
I'm going to say no, because they don't have base rend, so they're only rend 1.
Yeah, and they have one less base save as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, though.
Musician... Okay, they can run and charge instead of adding 1 to charge, but that's actually not as good, I think.
Not in this army.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't have as much wizards to use the banner? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. But then again, they do cost less. So it's... They're not better base, but like
reasonable.
Maybe they're fine. Yeah.
It's reasonable, yeah.
Chaos Gargant. Man, I don't care. But
okay. Well, that's just like a legacy thing of like they used to be part of the army, so they will be.
Yeah.
I looked it over. They don't do anything that impressive.
Yeah.
You're not running them. Man, do I not care. Yeah, let's skip them.
All right, great. Grashnak. Woo, here we go.
Grashnak is like almost the same.
He is. Yep, I think he is the same. Yeah. I think he might cost more.
He might cost more.
Yeah, I think it's 30 points more.
Oh, I guess same as in he's a Bray Shaman with a unit.
Yes.
And then the Bray Shaman changed, and he changed to be the Bray Shaman.
Yes, correct.
So his spell of +1 to hit is pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't know. I think you just take Bray Shamans, though.
They're definitely cheaper. I think this... I mean, this has use, though, I think. Still.
Yeah.
Because, like, doing the damage to the Grashnax to spoilers, like the D3 mortal wounds, doesn't seem that bad.
No.
Right? So... Oh, very specific. Is it specifically a gore unit? Or... Because I just noticed they have the keyword gore.
Oh, for the rituals of ruin?
Yeah.
I think
Or
it's a
for the
beast of
like all
chaos unit.
herd.
Let me go back to the rituals real quick. Like, um,
So I actually was more thinking the all herd. What does all herd say you can bring back?
Gore, Bestigore, or Gore, Ungore, and Ungore Raiders.
So the thing that's weird here is they say gore on them. So do they count as gores?
Oh, it's not Gore Herd.
Oh, it's not. Okay, it says gore herd. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the bit that I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so they're not that. And they just bodyguard, but they don't have like the utility that the Ungore and Gore have. So they're like
Yeah.
not. They used to be the same, but they're not.
Yeah, and actually you get less of them for like you can get the shaman for 95 and then Ungors for what are they 80 for less points?
Yes,
Kind of stinky now.
I agree. He's a great shaman now.
Ravening Direflock.
I don't remember this one. Okay, so
no. I remember it
it's
did
not
nothing
inspiring
before.
presence within 6 inches. That's good. Oh, rallying inspiring presence can't be used. Okay, and they don't just fly away for no reason anymore.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, and each time an enemy model issues a command within 6 inches of this on a 5-up, that command is not received and the command is still spent.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, that might be good actually.
Yeah.
For 40.
Yeah. I might have to build these. I never did.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the horn does.
I like the horn a lot, to be honest. It basically it's a 6-inch bubble that gets 6 inches bigger each turn.
Okay.
Oh, -1 to wound your Beast of Chaos.
Oh, great.
Yep.
-1 to wound.
Or I guess enemies get -1 to wound.
Get -1, but it doesn't affect me. So
yeah. So like a bunch of ways to bring your enemy. Like you're a crap army, but your herdstone makes them have crap saves, and you can make them have crap attacks.
Yeah.
With all the things you're bringing them down to your level.
Them, right? Like that's the thing. You're just making them
flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really kind of cool. Like you kind of suck, but then you bring them down to your level.
Yep.
Which is
great.
Actually very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the Wildfire Taurus.
Yep. So hits everything around it. It's another tornado. 2-up, the thing suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition, enemies within 3 inches have strike last and has no ability on Beast of Chaos. So you don't even need to do the damage.
Now. Woo! That wasn't the case before.
Nope.
And it moves 12.
Yep. This thing's great.
Yeah.
This thing is great.
I'll agree. What's the casting value? Casting value 7.
6.
Oh,
7,
and only range 6, so that's interesting. It's a little less than it was, because I think it was 12 before, was it?
Yeah, the ranges of these endless spells are pretty short. The Ravening Direflock is 12 though, so that's a little better, but
yeah. But it has to be wholly within all 3 models. It's kind of weird.
Oh, also to the no rally or inspiring presence, OBR has this endless spell that does that, and it is backbreaking.
Say that again? Sorry.
The OBR has a endless spell that's no rally or inspiring presence within 12. Yeah. And it's like backbreaking.
Yeah.
And like within 6 is not as much, but like shutting off commands might be like
it's pretty good.
That might get you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think they're all good actually.
I think they are.
They've been doing
there's a lot to play with here, right?
Lately. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This book might be good. Might be really good even.
Yeah, I think so, honestly.
I think it's gonna be tough to play and tough to find the list that like you like really synergizes well.
Yeah, I agree.
I think once you do, I think we got there.
I think I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
Well, that's the end of the show. So.
Yep.
Slideshow anyway. Closing thoughts? Well, I think I just kind of gave it. It's just this book is pretty sweet.
I think a lot of people were used to this army having a shit ton of bodies.
Yep.
And you're not really going to have that luxury anymore.
Yep.
So I think you have to like be really thoughtful with each unit.
Yeah, you can't just like spend them all willy-nilly for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think we talked about like 3 or 4 potential like builds that are wildly different directions.
Oh yeah. That are very interesting. I think the thing that's going to make or break it is do they have enough bodies and wounds to survive, to do enough with what they have, right?
Mm-hmm. And I could see this book being like too good on the double and not good enough on the not double as an issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is a problem overall.
Like,
but
if they just get like charged and hit and charged again and hit again, like they probably can't survive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nighthawk have that issue too, which it's hard to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to make armies that are like hit and run skirmishy things that aren't that though.
Yeah, because like if they can't actually run, then you're in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm really excited to see this army be played.
Oh yeah,
I really like it.
I'm very excited for this army. It's like
like,
what I wanted. It's like,
yeah.
You know, if it turns out they're a little too expensive, it's a solid B tier book, right? That's all I have ever asked for.
Yep.
That's all I ever wanted with these guys.
If it's just points change all the time.
What was that?
And if it's just points that are the issue, points change all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And if they're way too good, well,
points change all the time.
Points change all the time. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Beast Lord looks great. I'm sad I didn't get to paint anything, but they'll be next show.
That's okay. Yeah.
Next Friday we'll talk about the Gits.
We'll see how that goes. I won't be probably won't be nearly as engaged and know what's going on with them because I don't have them, and that's just that's how it goes for me. But we'll see.
It's hard. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we won't be as bored with the ogre as we were with the ogre one though.
Oh my god, yeah, that one was tough. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
But you know what? Thank you for joining me today, Bill.
Yeah,
Thank you for driving the stream in a time where I couldn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, it all worked out in the end. We figured it out, so.
Yep.
Yep.